Okay, we live. I'm back. It's your boy Poe. It's Poe. Um, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and all the other good stuff. I'm happy that y'all here another day with me. We got some things to discuss. Um, I had a couple of arguments today. It was crazy because not even arguments, they're like disagreements. But yeah, let's just get this show together. Um, it's just gonna be me that I know of. It's just gonna be me today. Um, some people want me to read off my wish list. It's over 1,000 blogs that I wrote, and they're my ideas. There's always people that try to nitpick and try to downgrade what I write and stuff. They're my ideas. Start with that chat GPT stuff. I've been writing ideas forever. I'm an artist. That means I think a lot. I think about a lot of things at one time. I'm a chef. I'm a baker. I'm an artist. So that tells you right then and there. I got like 20 books that I write in back to back. And my wife be like, why you got so many books? And I just be writing because I be having so many ideas. So a lot of y'all stop trying to make me seem like I'm a fraud or I'm just saying things or trying to take credit for stuff that I'm not doing. And that's not true. And for one, I was a boxer. So when I give my feedback on things, it's how I see things from a boxer perspective. Y'all got to stop. This community is never. And some of these people in the community, I think they really plant themselves in the community so they can make things bad, so they can make friction, so they can gaslight people. I think it's people that's in the community just for that. They don't care about the game. Let me start the YouTube. Give me a second, y'all. All right, there you go. Yeah, it's a lot of people. They don't care about They always try to find a way to find, they always try to find a way to disagree with you or try to make you seem like you don't know what you're talking about because it doesn't go with what they want. Oh, how's it going, Boxing Lounge? Appreciate you popping in. Yeah, it's crazy. I suppose to have some guests, but I don't know. I want to talk because I tell everybody show up at the talk show one because you come on talk show, I can actually hear you say things and the community can hear you talk. Then I can like ask you certain questions and stuff. And one of my biggest debates is people make Fight Night Champion more than what it is. I remember I used to argue with people. They used to be like, Fight Night Champion is realistic. No, it's not. The developers said it's not realistic. Now y'all gonna tell the developers they don't know what they're talking about and they designed the game. That's crazy. It's not realistic. And it's a complete game. People like, why do people compare um Undisputed to Fight Night Champion? Because that's the only boxing game that they could use as a comparison. Yeah, it's arcade. It's just that some people know how to play it realistically, but it's arcade. It's straight up arcade. It's over the top. The punches, everything, it's over the top. Just some people know how to make it look good. And my thing is, I'm not playing something and I gotta sit up there to make me think like when I was a little kid. We used to play with the I used to play with the plastic soldiers and stuff. Nobody ain't got no time for that pretending junk. The mechanic should be there. That's why I'm wondering why people giving Ash Habib a pass. They giving him a pass for certain things that he be saying, like what he said at that thing. He said if you play the game the way it's supposed to be played. No, if it's played the way you gave us the mechanics to use. SIB, boy, they be all in his ear. Sound nothing like how he used to sound. He used to be almost like an anti-EA. He was basically challenging EA at one point. Because he was like, he said, yeah, because I was like, you're not worried about Fight Night making EA making another game. He said, no, I'm ready for them. Bring it on. I don't care. And I was like, wow. He said, I'm making an NBA 2K of boxing. But he got all them EA people in the studio. That makes no sense. Even though some of them, they're not long-time EA employees, I think they was there for like 3 or 4 years. So Fight Night Champion goes back like 10, 11 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me see. I don't know. Somebody wanted me to read off my wish list. I'll probably summarize some of them, but I'm not gonna read off no thousand and something. And they're long. Some of them very long. Some of them like built so a developer could like just grab them and put them in the game. Let me see. This is episode 80. Poe and the Community, speaking their mind about boxing video games. All right, let me see. Breaking down my boxing video game blueprint. When I say boxing, my blueprint, that's my wish list. A lot of listeners keep asking me to break down the boxing video game blueprint. So let me make this clear. This isn't just a wish list. This is a fully built design Bible for what a realistic or sim boxing video game should look like in 2025 and beyond. I break down every layer of the sport: footwork, stamina systems, punch variabilities, tendencies, career mode depth, judging, training, gyms, promotion wars, broadcast, presentation, everything. I built this because no company has ever truly respected boxing enough to represent it the right way. I studied the real sport. I lived the real sport. I boxed amateur. I boxed pro. I sparred real champions. I know what boxing in a boxing game. I know what belongs in a boxing game. I know what's missing from the current one. Yeah, I know what's missing from Undisputed, and I know that a lot of the things they don't have in the game is intentionally. A lot of people don't be picking up certain things like that. Everything that's not in the game is intentionally. But y'all gotta ask yourself this: nobody's questioning what they're doing, because if they can add DLC, boxes with styles, and they could add updates to fix the game, that means they could add clinching, a referee in the ring, because you putting a boxer in the ring with a style. So you could add a referee in the ring. It's a lot of things that they keep lying about and people keep accepting it. Let me see. Yeah, people keep accepting everything that Steel City tells them. It's not true. Oh yeah, I finally got an answer from Brizzle, Brian Hayes. He said he has to respectfully decline. Oh well, I tried, and I know why he declined. Let me see. Why Fight Night Champion was not a realistic boxing game. I was just talking about that. Let's talk about the Fight Night Champion argument because people keep mislabeling it. I don't dislike Fight Night Champion. Yes, I do. I respect what it did at the time, but it was not a realistic boxing game. It was a hybrid, fun, but nowhere near an authentic representation of boxing. Look at the footwork. Look at the stamina. Look at the punch selection. Look at the animations. Look at the lack of defensive layers. Look at the universal archetypes. Look at the lack of individuality between boxers. They all look kind of the same, but not as bad as Undisputed. Look at the broken judging. And most importantly, look at the budget. The majority of that game's budget clearly went into the story mode. The boxing portion suffered. Exactly. That's what Brizzle was saying. He said the budget went mostly to the story mode. And people keep saying, well, EA is a billion-dollar company. EA has other games. So money is allotted to different titles. They're not gonna put like 100 million or whatever into just one game or something like that. They got to worry about the other titles that's stronger than what Fight Night was doing. Yeah. Um the majority of the game's budget clearly went into the story mode. The boxing portion suffered. People call it realistic because it's all we had. Nostalgia is powerful. But when you actually know boxing, the flaws are obvious. Fight Night Champion wouldn't hold up today because people now expect authenticity. And that's exactly why I keep press stressing that boxing deserves better than shortcuts. Yeah, see that's another thing about the everybody getting super hyped up about the Fight Night Forever. I'm not trying to take away from that team. They're working hard on it. But all you're doing is working hard on reskins. No animation. It's gonna be the same game with just reskins. And people gonna get mad because nobody's really paying attention to it because it's reskins. I'm not trying to hate on them at all, but I gotta tell the truth. One thing I gotta do, always did that. Tell the truth about everything. Some of my friends be like, we can't have you around because you're going to tell the truth. Let me see. Let's start getting more people up in here. Nope. There's Boston Lounge. Everybody always come late. It's like they know what I'm about to log off or something and they come late. All right. Content creators trying to push me aside. Yeah, there's people that are content creators. They want me to they don't want me a part of the community. They try to push me out. And that's crazy. Because I won't agree with what Steel City want me to agree with or what they want me to agree with. A lot of them content creators are MMA fans and fighting, fighters, arcade fighting fans. So you can't get mad at me if it's a boxing game. I'm going to content creators trying to push me aside. I'm going to address this directly because it's becoming obvious. Some content creators are trying to move me out of the conversation. People can dance around it, but I see the shifts. I see the tone. I see the motives. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to push for realistic boxing games. I'm here to hold studios accountable. And that makes some creators uncomfortable because they're used to being unchallenged. Some just want early access codes, checks, DLC checks, and influence. When someone like me steps in with real boxing knowledge, real experiences, and a real design blueprint, it disrupts their lane. I talk about the sport like someone who lived it, not like someone who watched the highlight clips. But let me say this clearly. I'm not in anybody's way. I'm in the way of mediocrity. Mediocrity. Um, yeah, this one I really want to address. Somebody told me something that I had a conversation with somebody else that I thought that it was just me and their conversation. All right. The rumor about me being scared to take a position at SCI. Everybody heard this story. I always tell. I'd like tell it. Like it seemed like every once a month. Now let's address the rumor that I was scared to take a position at SCI. That's false. Completely false. I think logically. I don't jump into situations without understanding the environment, the structure, and the trajectory of the company. People don't know the full story. I had private conversations with SCI devs early in development. They did want me involved, not them. They didn't want me to involve. Ash want me involved in the company at some capacity. I got the DMs. I copied and pasted. I mean copied them. They told me they were only hiring in the UK. That's what the developers were saying. That turned out to be that turned out to not be true because they hired managers and creators from the US, including my own state. I brought Will Kinsler into the picture. I asked Ash about Will. I told Ash about Will, and I told Will about Ash. Wanted to speak with him. I thought that move will open a door for me because Will was in the US and had major industry credentials. Instead, it went sideways. Will got in, and that move ultimately helped push me out. I wasn't scared. It was, daggone, what's going on? It was strategic. I was trying to build a pathway with the studio in a way that made sense. But when people have their own agendas, they make sure certain doors stay closed. Yeah, I definitely wasn't scared. My thing was Ash needed to get somebody that was in the industry. Me stepping in there, I could give you a billion ideas, but I can't tell you anything about the industry, like actually being in the industry. That's just like me. Somebody trying to tell me about boxing and they never boxed in their life or know the structure of boxing. So I'm like, Will, you should be a part of this. Because there's a couple of projects I tried to get Will to be a part of. All right. Why boxing gaming need real boxing minds? People keep asking why I talk the way I talk about boxing games. The answer is simple. Boxing gaming has never had real boxing minds involved. You cannot represent a sport you don't understand. You can't fake ring IQ. You can't fake experience. Most creators and even developers talk about boxing from the outside looking in. They don't know the layers, the subtleties, the decision making, the defensive habits, the footwork adjustments, the timing, the rhythm, or the real physical toll. They really don't know. That's why gaming turn out that's why games turn out shallow. That's why mechanics feel disconnected from real boxing. That's why fans feel something is missing. If boxing games ever want to evolve, they need real boxing knowledge at the table. Analysts, trainers, former boxers, people who lived it, people who know what's possible in a video game and what's necessary for authenticity. My blueprint exists because nobody else has put in the work to map out boxing in a way that truly respects the sport. Let me see. See anybody come in? Nobody here yet. Okay. I can keep going. Let me see. And and don't forget, I'm doing this podcast every single day this month because boxing fans deserve a voice. I want people to understand the sport, understand the games, understand the industry, and understand how we can finally get boxing video games we've been asking for. Every day is another step toward educating the community and holding companies accountable. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. And at some point, we might even have to boycott Steel City or bring it up to let them know that we're serious. We might have to boycott them. Make them be scared. Let them know that we have power. We got to at least say, all right, give us a poll. Give us a survey so we can tell you what we want, not what y'all think we deserve or what you think we need. Put up a survey. Because Ash keeps saying what fans want. Nobody's saying none of that stuff he's saying. I didn't hear nobody. I'm in the community heavy on every site. Nobody's saying that junk that he's saying. We gotta make the game for the I'm not saying his voice, but I'm using my voice. But he said we gotta make the game accessible to casual fans. We gotta make the game accessible to people that don't really play the sport. That's crazy. It's a good thing. I mean, it's a thing like example I could use. I wasn't an NBA 2K fan, but I fell in love with 2K. Now, and when I say 2K, start thinking about all the negative about 2K. I'm talking about when 2K was 2K. That drew me to him. All right, let me see. I'm talking about the because I wrote two different scripts and I should have merged them. Instead, I let them be separate. For the listeners who may not know, the boxing video game wishes blog is huge. At this point, I've written well over 1,300 blogs over the years, each breaking down specific things in boxing. All right. The footwork. Oh, this is a breakdown. Oh, daggone. This is a breakdown of some of the stuff that's on the wish list or my blueprint. The footwork and ring movement. One of the blogs that get quoted a lot is my footwork breakdown. I explain why footwork is not optional. It's the soul of boxing. I talk about pivot logic, real acceleration, and deceleration. the difference between floating, stalking, cutting the ring, shifting, and retreating with control. I break down how foot pressure should affect stamina, how real-time weight transfer affects power punching, and why ring IQ matters in predicting footwork choices. The blog alone can be a foundation for a full animation and movement system in a AAA boxing game. The stamina and damage blog. Another key blog covers stamina, damage, physical taxation. I go into how stamina should drain, how every timing should work. Excuse me. How recovery timing should work, how adrenaline and pacing affects performance, how damage accumulation across how damage accumulates across rounds. I explain the difference between visible fatigue and internal fatigue. I show how people mask exhaustion, how legs go before hands, why you need a system that punishes reckless throwing instead of rewarding spam. Hate using that word for boxing, but it's like talking a language, and that's what people understand. This is the kind of detail boxing games have never respected. The AI Ring IQ and Adaption blog. I also done entire blogs on AI behavior, not random AI, no button response AI. I'm talking about real ring IQ. I break down predictive decision trees, adaptive counters, defensive reads, timing patterns, fatigue-based adjustments, and styles matchup. I show how an AI should accumulate distance, rhythm, punch density, foot placement, momentum shifts. This is the type of AI design that turns a boxing game into an actual chess match. And the way Ash said chess match, people think, oh, long game, and you don't know that's not true. Y'all gotta start thinking different. Because a chess match, you can play chess if you use that term in boxing, you can get the king or queen right off the table real fast. Because all it takes is one punch to blast somebody out of there. So I think Ash chess match, the way he start like changing it up. So that means he been talking to people and they changed the way his perception was about match. Like he said, boxing is chess, not checkers. And that's true. Even Mike Tyson, his style, it was chess, not checkers. Now Deontay Wilder, that's checkers. Even though Wilder can box when he want to. His earlier fights, he was boxing. Let me see. I keep watching this board to make sure nobody ain't coming in. And I'm okay. It's just me, so I gotta monitor the chat and everything else. The authentic career mode. No, that's am I reading the right thing? No. Give me a second. All right. Authentic career mode and boxing universe blog. One of the biggest blogs on the site is the career mode and boxing universe breakdown. Man, if y'all could see what I wrote for the career mode and boxing universe breakdown, I mean, yo, It's massive. I wrote, and technically, I think I have like 20 different versions of the career mode that I made. Actually, probably more than that. Because I always come up with ideas, like I keep telling these idiots that keeps, trying to downplay what I know and how I think. I talk about global gym networks, trainer reputations, negotiation systems, sanctioning bodies, TV networks, promoter wars, injuries, scouting, training camps, fight week rituals, legacy systems, timelines, and world simulation. Most sports games barely scratch the surface of immersion. Boxing fans deserve a universe, not a menu. I'm telling you, if you can read my blog with my career modes and boxing universe, you'll be like, wow, we need this. And then you got some of these people that say, Poe, that's too much. We don't need all that in a boxing game. That's for you. And half of these people, they're online players. They think everything should be focused online. But they're idiots, because if there's no offline, online will not survive. It will not sell as many copies if there's only online. From my experience and from the data that I got, I can show you the data. Whoever want the data, just hit me up and I show you the data. Because people love making up their own rules and they think nobody's going behind them. When people say certain things, I'm going right behind you and do my research on it and gather the data. Because I'm not going to take it, because it's like certain things that people say, it's like they try to debunk what you're saying, hoping that you're not going to go behind them. No, that's not me. I'm not going to accept anything. I never was that type of person. The animations punch variability and style identity blog. Another fan favorite is the animations and punch identity blog. I explained how no two boxers, that's what Ash used to say. Ash used to say no two boxers or no style should look the same. That's the way the game was designed originally. There should not nothing should no if you play the game 10 times, you should not see the same thing in a fight. That's what he was saying. I don't think he said 10 times, but he said multiple times, and you shouldn't see the same thing. That's not the case right now. I explained how no two boxers should punch in the same way. Some loop wide, some throw wide punches. Some snap short, some throw short, snappy punches. That's not in the game. Some punch off balance. Manuel Gus is the only person that semi punches off balance. Some roll their shoulders. Some dip before they jab. Some punch with planted feet. Some punch with fluidity. I talk about timing variations, micro animations, foot faults, leaning angles, transitions, and individuality rhythms. This how you give players real stylistic diversity, not palette swapping animations. Exactly. And this is one thing people talk about, that lean back, but they're not really explaining. They say, "Oh, we don't need to lean back in the game." Leaning back is a part of boxing, but not staying there that long. People lean to move out the way, lean to move out the way, lean, but they're not standing back here like this. That's crazy. It should be a timeout. It should be yeah, it's like the give you a break. It's I forget, I'm not saying it right, but it's like a timeout system. Like once you do it, you got to wait a little more time. You can't. You could in real life you could do it a couple of times, but that I'm talking about timeout from doing it from a long position, like you trying to be back here. No. Now when you're on the ropes, it makes sense. But when you're not on the ropes, it doesn't make sense to be like that for a long period of time. A lot of people can say, "Oh, we don't need that in the game." Y'all gotta make context of what y'all saying. Y'all don't want in the game. Y'all keep just saying y'all don't want anything, but y'all not putting anything behind it to back what y'all saying. Leaning back is a part of boxing, but not for that long period of time. That's what y'all gotta say. But a lot of y'all not, I hate to say it, and y'all gonna call it gatekeeping, but a lot of y'all not really educated in boxing. When y'all watch a boxing match, y'all really don't know what y'all really looking at. Instead of people trying to educate you, you attack them thinking they're coming for you. No, I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to tell you what is right, what I see in boxing, not what you think boxing is. All right, I got some action. There, y'all just piled in here before I go. Blocking is overpowered and undisputed. It is, and it ain't. I'm talking about in real life, the way some of the people be saying about blocking. If if they had Winky right in the game, would you not want him to be Winky right? I'm just asking. Now, for everybody, it shouldn't, but a lot of people gonna complain. If Winky Wright was in the game and he had his blocking style, people will be complaining that it's overpowered. But that's what Winky Wright does. That's why I be saying some people need to go do when they bring out boxes. That's what I used to do on the EA forums. I used to educate people and they go look up stuff. They watch videos and stuff, and they be like, "You right, Poe. What's up, Blaze? Pound for pound. What up, Kane? What's up? Did I see Leafy in here? No. Oh yeah, dude. There you go, right there. Salute, Pope. You've been doing good today. So Leafy. Um, I wish we could switch defenses. Traditionally to Philly. That's the thing right there. Every boxer should not do what's not realistic to themselves. Now, if we had a mode even in the career, I mean, even in online, if you hooked up with a trainer that taught you that, that's one thing. But if that's not your natural defensive style, you shouldn't really be doing that style. Because I remember it was older games that I was playing, and the boxer always stuck to their style. Like basic stuff. My style, I used to do the Philly shell. But in some of my fights, you will see me doing my hands right here, or like this. You'll see me doing stuff like that. But that's not wasn't really my style. My uncle used to hate it because I'm 5'11" and I'm fighting heavyweights that's 6'5" and stuff like that, 6'2", and I'm 5'11". So he's like, you doing the Philly shell and you small like that. I was fast, but not fast. To me, I got pterodactyl arms. Um, you should be able to get knocked down if you lean back. Yeah, that's why I be asking people: do they go for body shots when people lean back? Because that would be the first thing I do if I see somebody leaning back, especially for a long period of time. I'm hitting them to the body, and it kinds of the like when people be complaining, it kind of shows you their mentality. They're headhunters. They want to get that head knockout. Like they be saying fights be going the 12 rounds. You know who complaining about that? The people that want the boxing game to be a slugfest. There has been plenty of beautiful fights that went to 12 rounds. Both of them probably been knocked down multiple times, or one of them been knocked down, and he happened and managed to get to the 12th round. That's a good fight. You'll be like, wow, how did he get here? But it should also be authentic to the boxing. Because if you beating the Joker to death, he basically shouldn't be making it to no 12th round. But Ash gotta speak about mechanics. I know y'all watching my videos, still sitting. I know y'all being here, what they call it, shadow watching. Y'all gotta stop saying y'all trying to hypnotize the players, trying to hypnotize the people that's playing the game or want to play the game. And you know, and it's crazy. I'm up to 600 views on my post about making a boxing video game on LinkedIn. Now, let me talk to Steel City. Y'all, it's so many things missing from this game. It's so many things missing from Undisputed. And Ash keeps saying no one wants a realistic boxing game. All right, if nobody wants a realistic boxing game, why is it not an option? Because y'all intentionally made the game for the arcade fans, the fighting fans and stuff like that. This game is not made for boxing fans, especially hardcore boxing fans. It's like y'all trying to force them and tell them what they need. And it's the stupidest development decision ever, because you want boxing fans to want to play this game, but they're not going to play a hybrid game. They'll do just like what a casual fan would do. They will leave. And I'm almost guaranteeing the next time they sell DLC, it's not going to do that well. The game is in a bad place, and you still trying to sell stuff. It's like the game is a dead carcass, and everybody's a vulture picking off the carcass. It really don't really serve no purpose. The game is dead, really dead. And you know who's really trying to save it? The league's trying to save the game. And I'm not going to say nothing about the leagues because everybody attacked me when I talk about the leagues. But I'm not going to say anything about the leagues. Blocking is ridiculous and Undisputed. It's way too powerful. Yeah, I heard that. But the thing is, there are people that come. This is what I keep telling people. Like I was explaining earlier. There are people with strong block that could block. And my thing is, you know why blocking bothers people so much? Because they're not throwing body shots. If somebody's blocking the head, their body is there. If that don't work, that means the mechanics is garbage. Yeah, the game is dead. It's a carcass. And they just keep picking off it. I can't see, because they keep, the data that I saw and the estimate, what I hear from other people, it's going to take them like 2 to 3 years to port this game. Might not, because if you use AI, it cuts everything in half. A lot of people say, oh, AI, it's not what you think. But it takes like it cuts the gaming process in half. So might be a year and a half. But the way Steel City work, it might take 4 years. It might take 5 years. But the way they're going, the game is not gonna make it. The game is on life support. And it's slowly running out of air and life support. And it's crazy. Shout out to Leafy. Leafy, didn't you say that the guy on one of the community managers, didn't you say one of the community managers on the Discord, he was getting mad at people talking about realism? He wanted it to be arcade. Let me see who this is. Somebody popped up. Oh, it's AJ Pax. What's up, AJ? Yeah, I can't hear you. Let me see. Um.
Yeah. Is my mic on? Yeah.
Oh, all right.
What's up,
Yeah, I
Poe?
can hear you. All right.
Got it? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
mister.
trying to read. I'm trying to read. I hear you.
I'm gonna stick around for about 30 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna go watch some basketball.
Oh, okay. That's
But
good.
yeah, I just tuned in. I was listening to you talking about how basically the game is it's almost dead, and all CSI is doing is
Yeah.
trying to use they're just trying to milk DLC, and that's the case. You know what? You know how also too you can
Yeah.
tell that the community is starting to get wise. I'm seeing not the crown content creators, but the other content creators that also have high subscription. They're coming out now and they're saying they're coming on. They're calling it now, man. Everybody's
Yeah.
calling it out now, man. It's so and you know what? This whole thing with the DLC and the updates, I knew this since from when they first did the update back in December of last year. I already noticed it from a whole year ago. I saw like it's obvious in how they're treating the fan base. Like me, I'm not gonna. I already like that Pacquiao DLC. I bought it, but I can't see myself with the next update that's coming out. I can't see myself buying another DLC for this game because they refuse to fix any the issues that the community keeps on asking to be fixed. They don't want to fix it.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah. And they kind of try to blame the customers for their shortcomings.
No fucking way. No, it's not our fault, man. And if I'm not even gonna go back to I'm not even gonna talk about the gameplay itself, but just simple things like season modes and like the online modes. What do you call it? This whole thing with the quit glitch. It's been going
Oh
on
yeah.
since 2020, 2022, and they haven't
Yeah.
addressed it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how pathetic this game is, man. Like how can that? And you know what gets me? You know what? Also, why it kind of triggers me too. I keep on. People are starting to pull out that interview that Ash gave at Vegas, where he said, "If you play the game how it's supposed to be played," everyone's
Yeah.
using that like a. That's turning into a meme now because
Yeah.
because he got caught. He got exposed. Everyone realized this guy's lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Liar, man.
Yep. I'm gonna do a whole thing on that. Let's see.
The
Pound for
only
pound.
people playing the game the way it's supposed to be played is that Crown Creator League. That's it.
Yeah.
And why are they playing the game the way it's supposed to be? Because they're looking for freebies.
Yeah. You can't play a game the way it's supposed to be if the mechanics is not there. That game does not have the correct mechanics. And
But you know
a
what,
lot of
man?
that stuff was taken out on purpose.
But you know what?
Come.
The
Yeah,
biggest
what?
joke, I would say, you guys who were there in the beginning, who saw before. So I started playing the early access. Before the early access, there was another version of the game. I would figure
Yeah,
that when you guys play that version, you would have saw all the missing mechanics already.
yeah.
You know what I
But they
mean?
was, cause they was saying, even Boxing Fanatical was saying they had another version that looked way better than what people or was saying, even with that video that we saw. But then
Well,
he started defending them.
I think Blaze is trying to come on the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to send him the link. 90% of people online do not play the game the way it should be played. What people are doing is whatever works. But that's the thing. And I got like in a well, I wasn't arguing, I was just listening. Um People say they're trying to make the developers see that they want the game to play a certain way. That's not gonna work. That's not how you get their attention.
The developers think by having this Crown Creator League and having these guys just pretend there's nothing wrong with the game, that's how they're gonna get that's how they're gonna make people play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And it doesn't work that way, man. They're just I don't know how, like, really, for them to be thinking like that, they really think the audience is a bunch of 4-year-olds, you know?
Yeah, they really do. They really do. Let me see. What's up, Blaze? You might have to pop out and pop back in if you're not, because I can't hear you or anything.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, Shaw,
Let's
y'all can
go.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bet. But nah, man, I appreciate you having me on the show, Poe. I really support what you're doing because I think the drum that you beat has to be continued to be banged in rhythm, and everybody have a consensus on what the fundamental issues is to push the game forward and to push SCI forward if they can do what they can do to make a good boxing game. One of the things that I look at with Undisputed is I'm gonna tell you like this, is crazy. I did a bid. I did 18 years from the end of 2023 to January 2022. So I skipped all those boxing games. The last boxing game I went from was Knockout Kings 2002 to Undisputed on console. So
Yeah.
I don't have the experiential experience or nostalgia for any of the other games. So my standards for a video game's low because I only play this game because I love boxing. I'm not a gamer, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at what I understand about gaming and understanding about engines, is that ESBC was on a whole nother engine. Am I not correct?
That's what I keep getting. They keep saying it's not. I really can't see that it wasn't on a.
It,
Even when I talk to people like that's in the industry, they say it was on Unreal Engine.
so that's what I'm
Wait,
saying. It's two different engines, right? And then I'm
I
looking at
don't.
just obvious things, though. Go ahead.
Yo,
Go
here's the
ahead. You
thing with
go
the
ahead.
engine. I remember we had this conversation months ago about. I remember we had it, but I forgot his name. But to me, it's almost like a conspiracy now that it was running on Unreal in the beginning. That
Yeah,
whatever that tech demo was. But after I did my I kept on digging. I think it's been Unity the whole time, man.
Okay,
And
but look, if it's Unity the whole time, then from from what I'm seeing from the eye test and how I play it only on console, is I believe they dumbed down the game to get it on console. Maybe even get probably cross-play in the future. Because I just look at like the how big a game is. Like I just Googled how big UFC 5 is, and when it says 44 gigabytes, I guess that might be how much it is when you originally download it. But I remember when I first downloaded Undisputed, I scratched my head because the game was only 15 gigs. And
you know
so I'm
what?
like, hey, are you going to be
You,
able to? Yeah, it was literally,
you,
listen, the game when I originally downloaded it on PS5 in October, I bought the WBC. I bought it 3 days early. I bought it. It was 15 gigs. And I'm like, what can you do with 15 gigs? When
what?
these other games be like 100 gigs, 120 gigs.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the correlation to it. Did you expect the game to be like what you're comparing it to, right? You're basing it off how much you paid for the game, right?
No, I don't care about the payment. That's what
You
I'm
know what
trying
I'm
to tell
saying?
you. I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer. So
Okay.
look, I bought the game because it was the boxing game. It was the only boxing game that came out. I had bought that Creed and then I played that once. That was like some arcade shit. You couldn't do nothing with it,
Yeah.
right? So it's like the closest boxing game that you guys had before this was Fight Night Champion, but that was dumbed down arcade.
Yeah.
I think Fight Night Round 3 on PSP might be a more technical game than Fight Night Champion.
Well, well, here's
I
the
don't
thing.
know. It's just
Well,
because they got parries, they got all types of stuff in it that Undisputed don't got.
Yeah. Yeah.
here's the thing. One of the reasons why the game is so small is because all the modes are bare bone. They ripped off everybody. They charge
Yeah.
And
AAA
and so that's
pricing. They charge AAA pricing for this game, and they give. And look at the career. Look at just look at the
ex-
offline
ex-
career mode. It's empty.
exactly.
It's fucking.
It's empty.
It's a disgrace. And everybody. I think a lot of people. Maybe I'm being naive, but when we're buying all this DLC, our expectations are that they're gonna try to take the community feedback and try to improve the gameplay, but also to build on other modes, improve the modes. They did nothing from
Exactly.
from,
Expand out the complexity of the
from,
game. But that's my
from
thing you might not be able to do it on this engine.
No, it's not true. They lied to everybody. And I'll give you one. Okay, I'll give you one example why they're lying. So, you ever play UFC 5?
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I played UFC 4. I
Oh,
haven't played UFC 5.
okay. So UFC 4 has it, but also too, I'm pretty sure other combat games have it. But there's a thing called like ragdoll physics. So one of the things you'll notice in the UFC game, when you knock somebody out, they use ragdoll physics. They use it, right? So they kind of
Yeah.
make it look more. They make it look more real, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Unity, which this game is built on, it has ragdoll physics. They never even attempted to to implement it into the fucking game. It has ragdoll physics, and they don't want to do it.
They're
But yeah,
being lazy.
I think they just, like I said, for me, it's they're an indie company, and I think to get it on console, I think they dumbed it all the way down, and I think they
They,
fundamentally dumbed down the code because that's what like Ash alludes to. How they fundamentally created the foundation for this game is different from the ESBC. They can't build on it. That's
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, but Ash,
Because go ahead.
Ash, Ash telling people that, and people
Ash is
keep
lying.
falling for it.
Yeah,
Ash
he's
Yeah,
has
but
lying.
he has 3 studios, so you're not an indie company.
He ain't no indie. He's not making no games out there. He's not no basement developer, man.
Nope.
but it's that they're not acting, but they built a basement developed game like it was built in a basement, even though they had more resources to do it. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like whatever they had going on ESBC, it looked like the cost for them to be able to convert it to get on console, they didn't want to pay it. So they dumbed down the game and talk about like doing updates. That's what it looks like to me. Because I
Okay,
look at the game, because here's what I look at it. Here's how I look at the game. And this is why I got a lot of grace for SCI. Because I look at Undisputed, like, and I'm just talking about the console. Y'all, ESPC ain't even, that's a whole different game. We know that now, right? But
Yeah,
I look at it like if it's like the first Madden on Nintendo, if they continue to reinvest in the game, reinvest in the sequels, if they move over to that Unreal Engine as soon as possible, then we get a totally different game with everything that it can do. Because we know this ain't doing what they can do in 2025. That's
yeah,
my
well,
opinion.
yeah. Hopefully,
let me ask you this, Blaze. So if you think that when it moves to Unreal 2, it'll do everything it's supposed to do, but the thing is, right now what we have here, why didn't they give us the game? Why didn't they give us the box and mechanics? They could do it on this. The only
Because
you
I
know what?
think
Hey,
they lowballed the coding, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I think they watered down the game to get it out, to get the money. And then they got to, because look, because if they do what they say they did, they put a cheap game out on Unity. It was bare bones, right? They got the money and then they literally invested in Unreal developers and then they get the sequel on the Unreal Engine. So the game should be night and day. That's what they get the benefit of the doubt with me because, like I told you, I don't have no high expectations for video games. I don't have no high expectations for a boxing video game because I didn't play all those boxing video games. But I'm in 2025 like everybody else, knowing what they could have realistically done, right?
yeah,
What they left
well,
out, right?
well, let me limit your expectations because the only reason I believe they're gonna move they're moving into Unreal Engine is so they can bring us so we won't have online desync anymore. That's the only reason I
That's
think they're
ex-
doing it.
But that's the core issue though. Because look, you can't, because one thing about it, they can fix and do all the mechanics and all the nuances all they want. If we still getting that desync, if we still getting that ghost punches, if we still getting all them issues, then it don't matter. That's the whole fundamental problem with this game is the desync and the hit detection. And I'm
Yeah, but
cold
see,
blooded, man. He made a great video because he showed like that game. What is it? The Arena, one of those first person shooter games, and it showed what engine that they was on, and then it showed like it showed an experiment where it's like the game can't align both consoles one side
yeah,
and
yeah,
another.
I
We're
saw that.
experiencing
Yeah,
two different things, and that engine will remedy that because that's the core issue. We're seeing two different things when we fight online. So no
yeah, but
matter what type of nuances that you put in the game, if we continue to see that, then that's going to be the problem with the game, regardless of how nuanced you make the mechanics.
so let me ask you this: what's stopping them from implementing more boxing elements in the offline mode?
And again, I agree with what you said. They skimped on that.
Yeah.
They skimped
They,
out on
hey,
look,
you're
they really look. If you look at the game, right? If you think about the game, right? They really and then they really they skimped on that and then they made it so you can customize characters. So the caps came online. Everybody has an uproar about that, right? So they took it out of ranked. That's what I heard they was gonna do. But the thing is, yeah, bro, they really just skimped out on a career mode, a real RPG mode. But here's my
Yeah.
thing with them. I got high expectations for Undisputed 2 because like I was in the chat yesterday with Poe and y'all, is if they make it like 2K to where you can customize your fighter for each individual animation. You feel me? When it's like what type of jab you shoot, what type of standing
yeah,
jab you shoot, what type of moving jab you shoot, right?
Yeah.
What your
That's
what
something I
your
wish
overhand looks like. You see what I'm saying?
they,
If you can be
they,
able to oscillate between traditional block or high guard in the Philly shell, right? There's a bunch of things that a game can do that we know that they can do. Like you can switch stances, right? If they implement the thing to where you can customize your player like that, then yeah, this game goes to a whole different level for the sweet science.
this,
So
but
it's
yeah, but
like,
you're not gonna get that with Undisputed, man. There's no way.
but
I'm not gonna be in shock when Undisputed 2 comes out. It's gonna be exactly what we have now. Is just they fix the online server issue because they're gonna give us dedicated servers and that's it. And they're gonna see people are suckers enough to keep on to buy all the DLC.
And so
Yeah.
that's the thing. They can't fool us once. Shame on them. Fool us twice. Shame on us. They have to fix the core issue before they can do any mechanics. They have to fix the desync. And in order for this game to be competitive, they have to fix the quick glitch. I told cats all the time. They say they reset records. They reset records. I'm like, it don't matter if you reset records if somebody can quick glitch and
Yeah,
delegitimize everybody's record. I watched Time
Yeah.
Bucket. If anybody's seen Time Bucket, I watched Time Bucket go like 86-0 in ranked, and he streamed every second of it. And some dude kept stream sniping him and fought like 7 times in a row and quick glitched on him. And he got his first loss when he was silver one, almost the undisputed, undefeated off a quick glitch. So you can't compete on this game. This game's not competitive online. That's why.
yo,
That's why. If you look even with Crown, if you look at all the content creators, everybody's enthusiasm is them pulled back because not only did they fix the issues, they reset the records with the quick glitch. So you're trying to climb a ladder that's bogus. You added the caps into the mix, and so they don't respect that because you can tweak them caps to be OP and broken, and so therefore nobody really competes online on this game because it's fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
I think the reason why the content creators are they're starting to get destroyed is because they haven't aided in a while. You have to feed
No,
those. You have to feed those content
no,
creators so they keep on. So they keep on the
nah,
same. Yeah, you got to keep
nah.
on giving
Listen,
them
no,
gifts and shit. If you stop
nah. Real
giving them
talk.
gifts, then they're not gonna. Then they're as long as you give those guys gifts, they're gonna keep on making it seem like this game is good.
But nah, bro. See, that's the thing, bro. There's an underground community that play this game in the lobby. Like one thing about it is like cats is not gonna create content with this game or cats will stop being active randomly online. But cats is in the lobby fighting people because there is a great point to this game. And I tell people all the time what a paradox of a boxing game, if they get it right, there has to be free will in the game to where individuals can play goofy. So then a real player with boxing IQ who want to play the right way can have the free will to do all the boxing moves that he want. You feel me? Because it's gonna be a game. Because it's kind of like if you play like, say you play 2K, you play like Madden. You can play with the fatigue off, or you can play with the fatigue on. Just that alone turns it. If you take the fatigue off, turns it into arcade, right? Right?
Yeah.
You take off the physics, right? It's the
Yeah.
same thing with a boxing game. We're playing a boxing game. There's gonna be an arcade element to it because of how you're trying to get the casuals to play it. So, like we say all the time, there has to be a simulation mode and an arcade mode. But they're gonna make it's gonna always be when you have a game where people are going to do unrealistic things and
Yeah.
maneuvers inside of the ring. You can't get away from that. It's kind of like when we talk about the lean back. That lean back's bogus because anybody who done stepped in the ring and sparred or whatever know that you can't lean back like that. And then you would just think if the game was realistic based, if you lean back too far like that and I rush you and fought on the inside, I can literally push you over. Like Poe said, the only exception would be is if you're on the ropes and the ropes give you leverage for me to don't just push you down on the ground. You feel me? Or hit you and knock you off balance
Yeah.
and get a knockdown on a weak punch. You feel me? But you're talking about nuance to a game that started off at 15 gigs. That's why when I downloaded it, I didn't have no expectations because I had already had all them big ass other games that'd be
Yo,
like
yo,
100 gigs on here. And we know
Blaze,
we need the power for this game to be nuanced like we want it to be.
I'm gonna come back to that power because I'm gonna catch you on that PowerPoint. But let me ask you this: if Undisputed 2 comes out and it's gonna come out on Unreal Engine, if you don't see that they implemented any kind of parrying or deflection system in the game, what do you what's your opinion then at that point? If they don't bring you that,
My opinion
because
is that just like would be anybody
you're talking
else's,
about the
my
core, you're
opinion would
talking
be
about the core
bogus.
issues, right? You're
Yeah.
saying right
But
now
the
one core issue is the online play, right? But the other
yeah.
core issue is the actual boxing gameplay.
Yeah, and so look, that's what I tell you. Listen, I got the same. Like I said, we're arguing the same thing. It just depends on what you want to prioritize. Desync makes the game not good for anybody, whether you're online, whether you do random online, or whether you jump into a lobby. They have to fix that issue with the hit detection and us seeing two different things. They have to get it closer together. But then, if you talk to me, if you know me, the first things I would tell you to add is they have to add parries, they have to add pivots, and they have to add clinches. If they don't add pivots, parries, and clinches, this is not a real boxing game. You feel me? And in 2025,
Uh,
2026, or whenever they make Undisputed 2, it's like, hey, that shit's, you got it. If you don't have clinches, if you don't have pivots, if you don't have parries, it don't make no sense. And then, like I said, one thing about it, people who know boxing, it's gonna get our desires and wish list gonna get insatiable. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna be like, hey, switching your guard stance is different. I want to be able to go high guard when I want to go high guard. I want to be able to go Philly shell when I want to be a Philly shell. And then I want to be able to have some defense when I'm inside on how I manual block and on how I will block one side, the side that's off the person that I'm actually leaning into. You feel me? And then that goes into, we know it can be done because we know the grappling mechanics with UFC provide some of that. You can get glimpses that they can technically make those maneuvers within the game. But this is a bare bones game, like you said. We know what it is.
Yo, let me ask you this: going back to the whole thing about the console doesn't have enough power, so they have to. So basically, they
that's a
how do you
lie.
say
I don't believe
they
that. No, I don't believe the
That's a
console
lie.
doesn't have enough power. I believe they made
Oh,
a
I thought that's what you
bogus,
said.
weak water. No, I said the game is not. They didn't put enough into the game. The game is bare
Okay,
bones.
so
They
you
put
believe that?
15
So you
gigs in
believe
it.
PS5 and Xbox Series X, it should be able to handle this game.
Okay, look, here's what I think. The things that you asked for, right? When we're talking about parries, right? When we talk about clinches and we talk about pivots, right? Some of that stuff's
Mhm.
in UFC 5, right?
Oh man, UFC 5,
Right?
yeah, all that shit. The only thing UFC
Exactly.
5
So that's
doesn't
the whole
have
point.
is
I don't gotta, yeah, what do they don't have? What does the UFC don't have?
it doesn't have a parry.
It doesn't have a parry, but we know
No.
fucking PSP games got parries.
Yup.
Like we
Yeah.
Yup.
know Fight
Yup.
Night, the round three had a parry. These games got
I
parries.
think
You feel
Knockout
me? And they
Kings
got
had
clinches.
parries.
You see what I'm saying? Exactly, knockout kings. You feel me? And it created the vulnerability when you were successful. You see what I'm saying?
But,
So it's like
but
we know that they can do these things because we've already seen it in video games, bro.
But they
right.
choose not to. That's the thing. Like
Because they
when I
because
Because
it's
look at
it's the creative director. It's on him.
yeah. But
but look though.
when I watched the content creator video with Ash was saying that a lot of people don't think sim is fun. I say, yo, that's crazy because
But they
for one,
listen
why
though,
are you
but
talking
Poe,
about one mode? They talking about
yeah,
one mode. You
yeah,
keep saying sim
exactly.
is not fun. Where's the other modes?
No, but hold on,
And
hold on.
and
Hold up. Before we go there, I just want to finish this last point about the console power, right? So here's the thing: anybody who thinks that the PS5 and the Xbox are not capable of running this boxing game on like from going from PC and porting it to console, think about this. UFC 5, which is an EA game. How is it possible that they're able to make such a friggin' in-depth game, and and we can even say graphically beautiful, and it could run on the PS5 or Xbox Series X?
I'm
But
gonna
that's
What's the
the
play
reason
thing.
devil.
behind
I'm
We
gonna
that?
play.
we we
I'm gonna
know
play
we know
devil's
the game's
advocate.
power. We know the game's power can do way more. Because look, we can just look at what they did with PS Pro when they tried to do the realistic with the textures and the physics. So we know this console's capable of all of that, bro. That's not the issue.
No,
We
but
know
that, but
this
that, no,
game
but
when it's get
CSI,
downloaded, we know it's
CSI
underperforming
created
for
that.
it's not.
CSI created that narrative. If
But
you
yeah,
go
but
look at the archive, CSI came out. Those CSI people, they said that some of the issues has to do with that the console doesn't have power. Here's my last point on this. What I need to know now is that, okay, if it doesn't have power, but EA could do it on this console, are you telling me that EA's Frostbite, which is a proprietary gaming engine, is it optimized for PS5 and Xbox? Or is Steel City Interactive telling us that Unity is not optimized and this is why they're having these problems?
like I said, man, the only thing that I look at is I look at the money. It appears to me that EA was able to invest way more money in spend to create UFC 5 than SCI did for Undisputed. That's my opinion. Because like I said, the game's 15 gigs. When you first download UFC 5, it's like 44 gigs or something. Now, you got it. When you add updates, you add other gigs to it. There's certain games on PS5 that be like 100 something gigs, 200 something gigs. You feel me? Them gigs it creates the nuance because of the expansion of how much you put inside the game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. So when I see 15, it's like, hey, bro, that's bogus. Any good game on PS5 is at least 100 gigs. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
If you're
And
looking at
somebody noticed that. They said that the gigs went down, and once they noticed the gigs went down, they looked at the game that they started still taking stuff away. And it's an excuse when they say we can't put referees in the ring and we can't put clinching in the ring because it don't work. But you're working on putting boxers in the ring, DLC. They can do it. That's a decision that they made. They
Yo,
don't want
they're
clinching in the
clinching.
game.
They had
They
clinching,
don't
they
want
got rid of
clinching.
it. And they
that's
can
why,
and they can
and
and
that's
nobody and nobody's making them answer it. They can't
but
answer it because everybody in the Discord's scared.
But no, we're having the discussions right now. I'm sure other people's having the discussions. Their moment of truth is going to be if they say what they're going to do to fundamentally shift the game. If they go to the Unreal Engine, because if I'm not mistaken, that's the same engine that they got GTA 6 on, right? And we know
Yeah.
how big and expansive GTA games be. And we know how big and expansive even when they be online playing on them damn servers. Even though it's not, I think the graphics and think what they did, you don't got to have that much timing compared to boxing landing punches, blocking punches. I think that's a lot of nuance because it's right. Everything really counts. Every second really matters when you're engaging in a combat game and you're engaging in a boxing game and you want it to be sim. You feel me? I think, but this goes into what you're saying and segues into what Poe's saying. The sim called chart, it creates way more nuance and more power and more coding to create than the arcade game, Poe. And they didn't invest in sim. They wanted to get a game out. They want to get these license fires. They want to get people to buy it. You see, they got everybody to buy the latest DLC. They put Pacquiao on there. They probably gonna put another big name that's relevant in the next one that's gonna buy. And this is gonna be what the game's gonna be. Like what I'm telling you is with this is Undisputed is what it is, bro. It's been 14 months. We know Desync ain't going nowhere. We know the quick glitch ain't going nowhere. And they ain't said nothing about adding no clinching, pivots, or parry. So this shit is what it is. We
Yeah.
can complain every day.
Yo,
If you like boxing, I like boxing. So I play the game and I know what I'm getting when I play this shit.
by the way, you said GTA 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so GTA
Is
6 is not gonna go on, it's not Unreal. They're using a proprietary engine. It's called Rage.
Oh, they're not using Unreal?
They have their own engine. They made their own engine. It's called the Rage
Okay, they
engine.
made their own. Have they ever
Yeah.
been on Unreal? Was the 5 on Unreal? I thought
I think they
GTA was
did
on
at some
Unreal.
point. I
That's what I
think at
did,
some
but
point
that's the
they
Oh
did.
point I'm
no, I
only
looked
trying
up.
to
I
make
know
is a
GTA
game of that
interesting.
complexity.
Actually, no, I looked up. Okay, let me see GTA 5 then. Hold on. Yeah,
Yeah,
GTA.
GTA.
Yeah, it's always running on this Rage engine. They've had their
Okay,
engine
it's
from
always
this
running on
Rage. Yeah,
Rage.
yeah. It basically the Rage stands for Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. That's their proprietary game engine they
Okay.
run it on.
So then what's running on Unreal? Because that's what we got to compare it to.
It's some major games,
No,
but I can't think
no,
about it
Unreal
right
is a game
now.
in it. Unreal is like a let's call it a turnkey solution gaming engine, meaning that it takes the word, meaning that you don't have to develop your own proprietary engine anymore. Like that's all it was back in the day. EA, all their games, they made it themselves. They didn't rely on anybody. But I think around, let's say maybe, was it, I don't know, I'm gonna say 1999, 1997. That's when you started seeing these open I want to call it turnkey solution, but they're like open-ended, where anybody could get a license and start developing on it.
All right, so look, I'm looking at some of the newest games that's on there. That Black Myth, that Wukong game is on that
Oh
Unreal
yeah,
Engine.
yeah. That's what.
Fortnite's on there. Let me see what
Yeah.
else is on there. The ones that really matter. Tekken 8 is on there. The Arc Raiders everybody's running around playing now is on there. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, the new Metal Gear's on there. You feel
Wow.
me? The game called The Finals. That's the game that they be talking about that with the hit detection is more aligned on the Unreal Engine where they don't have that people seeing two separate experiences like that. It's more closer. That was the example that game they used in the physics that they used was the examples that was used in the I'm Cold Blooded that really exposed it. The what's been exposed about the unity is that we're never going to see the same thing on both sides of the screen. And not only are we never going to see it, there's a huge gap. That's why you get the ghost punches, whether you're 2 feet away or whether you're across the screen, because for some reason, I might be right there on you punching you. Your screen showing you that I'm still over across the ring. And then you
So
got to
as long
take
as
it that we're constantly moving at the
so as
same
long
time.
as they solve that issue, you're gonna be satisfied then.
No, I'm not going to be. No, no, no. I'm not saying I'm going to be satisfied. But what I'm telling
Okay.
you is that even if they fix any of the mechanics, if they don't fix the desync, then you're not going to be able to use the mechanics because of the desync. So the game's never going to be good on this engine. That's the point I'm trying to make. I
Yeah.
would like this because as long as they have this game and as long as they make updates, I'm going to expect incremental improvements on the game inside of the physics of the game. One thing that Undisputed ain't be telling us, because I didn't play this shit. I only play this. I don't play nothing else. I'm not even that competitive because I don't got time to grind rank. I can't beat the player and the game at the same time. But I got like 600 hours on this game. And one thing that I do tell you is, hey man, when you play this game enough, you can intuitively feel that they keep changing the physics of the game every time they put an update, and even in between updates with the hot fixes. They do little shit to this game, bro. That it'd be like the timing, different punch animations, what they say they nerfing, what they ain't nerfing. They're constantly tweaking this game behind the scenes, and they're not keeping it 100 about it. You feel me?
Yeah.
That be the thing. You don't got no transparency for what the fuck they keep trying to do to this game to make it work. And so, that's why I said it's just like I just like my thing with me is I'm looking at it like if it's Mad 90, then it's like, look, what do you guys look like 5 years from now continuing to improve and reinvest in a boxing game? And now what I know with Undisputed, I can't have no expectations for the first version when I know they have to shift to another engine to fix the fundamental flaw, and they didn't already said they did. I talked to, was it Will Kinsler? I talked to him personally. I talked to Ash. I didn't talk about the technical stuff with Ash. I talked a
You
little
talked
bit
to
to Will
Will.
Kinsler,
You
and
talked
he
to Will. You
said
talked to Will.
I talked to Will September 12th, this year, the day before at the tournament, at the content creators tournament in Vegas when
What
Box
do
Eye
you
View won the title.
What do
I
you
talked to
tell
him and
you?
he
Okay.
said, "Listen, it's obvious. They don't, I wasn't trying. I'm not
Wait,
a
wait, wait. Were
reporter,
you
so I
yo?
wasn't trying to."
Were you one of the 10 people there, or?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't one of the 10 people. But the stars
Okay.
aligned with me. I had went to. I had booked. Me and my wife booked for the fight for Crawford versus Canelo, and we booked the same hotel that the tournament was held in. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
right there. I'm ground zero when they all drop in. And boxing is my view. A lot of them content creators is my view. I done fought a few of them guys, online, on streams when we show
Yo,
up.
so
You feel me?
so when you spoke to Will, like,
What
what
did
did
he say?
what did he say? But
Listen,
also too, what did you think his role at CSI is?
I don't, but that's the thing, bro. You guys got way more experience and background and history. You got to look at me
Okay.
like I'm a casual walking up and talking to him. I
Okay.
talk to
Okay.
him and I'm like, look, man, I see what y'all doing. I see there's a bunch of issues in the game. You feel me? But I see y'all bring out something that's for the first time in decades. Hey, man, I'm supporting y'all trying to get it right. Some of the biggest takeaways that I took away, because I wasn't doing it like reporting, I was having a conversation with him, so I don't have him uncomfortable and close off on me. But one thing he said that he was like, hey, off the record or whatever, it don't matter. It ain't no secret why we're hiring Unreal developers. You know, that's one of the biggest things that I got from him. Because that's the telegraph, like they said, it's like, hey, that's the fundamental issue that's wrong with this game. We already know that they're building a sequel on a different engine. You feel me? So that tells you
Wait,
that they're not going to invest. So for me, you're already communicating that you're not going to invest for this game to be what it's supposed to be on this version of it. So I'm not going to
but let me,
expect that.
But y'all know that's a smoke screen, right?
well, this is the thing.
Because
What I was,
if they got the same mentality going into that game, they're like Ash talking now, like he's talking to like Sim doesn't sell. He basically got that mentality now.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They have no intent. They think, but they got
But
lucky. They think because they sold 1.3 million units is because the community was starving. We had to have a game since
And that
2012.
wasn't the case. And that wasn't the
but
case.
But
That
Paul, I think they're learning as they go along. One thing is they, like I said, fool us once. They fooled us once because they didn't communicate to everybody that the ESBC, what we got on console, wasn't going to be what they was having on what they was having on beta, what they had on PC. They didn't keep it 100. It's a total different game.
here,
But once you get to that,
I'm gonna put a wrench in that. Do you play? Have you ever played it on PC before?
no, that's what I'm saying. No, I haven't played it
Okay.
on PC.
So
But what I'm
I
telling
have
you
it on.
is, look, think about it though. They did all that. They did all
No,
those
no, no.
versions on
I have it.
PC.
I have it on PC as well. Here's the thing. There's no difference in the gameplay on the PC on the ultra settings versus what you see on console. It's the exact same game. The only difference on PC is you're able to unlock higher frame rates. You'll get up
Yeah,
to what
better
beyond,
graphics.
but yeah, higher. You'll get the 4K resolutions, but as well you'll get beyond 120 frames per second. On console, we're capped at
So it's the
60, which is
same
fine.
game.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
same
basically
fucking.
the
It's the
same
same.
game.
It's the same
But
fucking game.
they
There's
got
nothing.
people up there
There's
trying to
nothing
clean that
enhanced.
up.
There's nothing enhanced on the on you, if okay if the PC version was more enhanced, then you hear me singing a different tune right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was enhanced. I thought, from my understanding, what people say is that it was different. So I guess it was like what they
The
did was they
graphics.
changed up the physics. Like people talked about the arm physics too. People talked about you couldn't throw a whole bunch of punches with the same arm, like it'd have an arm fatigue like thing on some of them. That's what my guy Pride be saying when he be talking about it. When because he plays on PC console and all of that, but he had the PC version. So he said they changed up the game physics, you know, when it was on PC compared to how it's on console now. And they changed the physics up a few times. Like they nerfed the southpaw. They nerfed like for instance, I fight with Bud. When you go into southpaw, he got the switch hitter, but they nerfed his straight left. It was supposed to be lightning fast. They done nerfed that. They do a whole bunch of little nuanced things to the game that they don't necessarily put in the patch notes. And one of the things that they was talking about was arm fatigue. Like you couldn't be able to used to be able to just spam a left hook like that. And then you remember if you played on PC, because I've seen videos on it, what was it like that body uppercut? There was one punch that was just everybody was just spamming that was just OP, right?
It was Inspector Gadget body uppercut. The arm would
Ye-
stretch.
Exactly. And then I don't know if Wilder OP before console, because I know when he dropped that shit was crazy.
When version 1.0 came out, Wilder became super overpowered.
Exactly, but so that what I'm telling you is they changed certain shit in the game when they put it over. That's the only point I'm trying to make. Is
What I
it's like a mad
what I
scientist and they're
yo
changing a whole bunch of shit and we don't know what they changing and then they keep changing shit and breaking other shit.
what I okay before okay on 0.99 the beta version, I found that it felt that it was more geared towards sim. When it first came out, version 1.0 on the well, like all systems after when it came out, right away you notice that okay, you can't really let's just say you're trying to step 45 degrees and kind of cut your opponent. You can't do that anymore
Yeah.
because what they did was the what do you call it? That thing. So your box is always facing the guy. It's like an auto assist. They
Yeah,
jacked
auto
that up.
assist, yeah. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
took away that element of the game.
Like I keep telling people, the timeline falls on Will's Kinsler when he came. From my research, when he came, things drastically changed. he had to put his mark on this company because Ash kept repeatedly. I made sure I even got a video early. Ash is talking about this game supposed to be hyper realistic. He kept saying realistic sim. He said it's going to be the NBA 2K of boxing. He was saying all these things. He was saying it over and over and over again. Then when Will came, Will started trying to correct him when he said, I got a video. And I'm like, yo.
And you know,
Yeah,
that's what I heard too. I heard that them guys as non-boxers got to tweaking the game. Because look what happened. You know, you had it on PC. When it dropped on console, wasn't that the most arcadish version of it ever?
yeah,
With the power punching. You feel me?
yeah,
Because somebody in their ear got them and said, hey, this is a boxing game. You wanted to be excited. People want to see hard punches. People want to
yeah,
see
that's
spun punch. People want to just bang it out in the inside. So we have to make it like this so we can sell it to a broader audience. And that's what they
yeah.
did. Listen, the sim and
And
the
that sounds
nuance,
so arcadey. That sounds so
yeah.
arcadey saying that.
But it is what it is because like Poe, you should know, man, the sweet science is different. And like you said earlier in the show, people watch boxing and don't even know what they be looking at. You
Yup.
feel me? You see the blood, you see a person get knocked out, you see a person throw a whole bunch of punches. That's for the casual, that's what they want to see. They want to see a bunch of action. They're not going into the nuances of boxing, right? They're not going into the
Yeah,
level changes. They're not going into the feints. They're not going into ring generalship. They're not going into, you know, angles. They're not going into pivots, right? They're not going into, you know, different switching defensive stances, mid-fight, switching stances mid fight, mid exchange. That shit, they don't, people can't see that. You gotta slow the tape down and watch it three, four times to even catch what you really see is going on in a boxing match. So they
Yo, Blake.
simplified it for the masses.
Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Yeah, Paul, you got it. You got it. I tried to send it, but it wouldn't let me send. It filtered me
yeah,
out for
but
some reason.
this something that people gotta realize how things like really changed because it's like Will doesn't want the game to they don't want to spend money on certain things.
Yeah,
It's like
I agree.
they got the money because the Westcom they got the three investors. Everybody thought Turkey invested. Come on, if Turkey invested in this game, it'd have been 10 times better than what it is.
Yeah, but
But
if they
they
just threw money, if they threw money and wasn't involved in the decision process, then it was what it was. Because Riyadh season pops up in them on them sponsors in the midst of all them different people that's licensed inside of the
yeah,
game.
he's just promoting the game because it's boxing, and Westcom pushed them out. I know that for a fact. They pushed Riyadh out because they
Yeah.
wanted to. He wanted to be a part. I got a video when he's talking to I forget his name. He was talking to him, and he said this gonna be better than Fight Night. He want this game to be the ultimate game.
Yeah, he don't want to give you
But
the undisputed title in career mode when you win. They got Turkey actually in the game.
yeah,
So it's
Yo,
like, but
Blaze.
like I said, go ahead.
Oh, Blaze, let me ask you this. What were your? I think you said it before, but what were your thoughts on when people were using the creative boxer
Because look, here's my
in the
thing with the
online modes?
here's my thing with the creative boxer. Hey, the regular licensed boxers, gamers, and everybody are already exploiting them, right? So you put the 85 cap on the particular boxer, right? So
Mhm.
if you run the stats right and say I put my punch speed at 100, which I've done, right? I have to sacrifice somewhere in my stats that creates a clear a cold vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? For me to pump up that
yeah,
one stat, right? And but my whole
yeah,
thing is I don't complain about the calves because the game's already being exploited with everybody else doing everything and certain players having certain animations. And so it's like, bro, you add it in and it's just like, hey, it's another mix. What I love about the creative fighter is that if you make your cap with integrity and you like trying to build your skill up, then you build a balanced fighter yourself and you can be able to tweak it and, you know, do a whole bunch of customization
What?
and then it
But,
actually runs smooth if you got a solid connection. So that was
but
my
what?
opinion, but go ahead.
Which modes do you think it should have been in?
I think they should have did. I think see they fucked up because what I'm looking at is with for them. I don't care because I don't climb the rank ladder like that.
yeah,
I don't have time like that. Like I said, the quick
yeah,
glitch. So, but I know people who beat the game and the players and actually are legitimate good fighters and not cheesing and get to the top 20, top 50 of the leaderboard. So they shouldn't have put it in online ranked. They should have kept it kept it quick fight because people got to complaining that the calves were on the top of the leaderboard. And then what they also did is with the amount of points that you get for a win with a calf. With a regular licensed fighter, you got 25 points for a win. With a creative fighter, you got 35. So they were
I didn't
able
know
to
that.
climb the leaderboard faster. They
Okay.
got 30, you get 35 points with a creative fighter and only get 25 points for a loss in
Oh,
comparison to 25 points for a win and 25 points for a loss with a licensed fighter. That's what fucked the
okay.
game up.
Okay. So watch this now. So now we're talking about this whole rank. So you're saying, okay, they shouldn't have had the creative fires in rank. Just leave it in quick fights, right? But here's the
Yeah.
thing: a lot of people, I don't know if people are turning a blind eye or they're excusing Undisputed or they're letting them get away with one of the biggest lies. If you go look at the patch notes, the last before version 2.0, the last of the patch notes there was and it's all online. It shows when they introduced Creative Fighter, it says specifically that Creative Fighter was only supposed to be on quick fight mode. It was supposed to be on rank. They wrote it in stone. It's there on
I
the freaking.
know.
It's there.
That's what I'm trying to
It's there.
tell you. That's what we
So
all was
so
prepared for. So I don't
so
know
here's
why
the
they
thing. So
shot
here's the
themselves in
thing.
the foot.
Well, here's the thing: the fact that it's been going on this long now, that okay, from day one, the creative fires are using rank. How come they're not? How come they're not answering to that? How come they're pretending like like today? If you is it today or yesterday on the Discord? I saw the message. Now they made the big announcement, and
Yeah.
all these idiots here. They're not here, but all these people are talking. Oh, they're so happy now. Oh, they're listening to us. Listen now, but the reality was they lied to you. There's
Yeah, they shouldn't have
they
did it in the
never
first place.
they
I know.
it's not they should have done it. They were never supposed to do it. They never said it was going to be in rank. Now they're turning around and making it seem like they're changing the narrative, making it seem
But but I don't
oh
look at I don't look at it like
You
that it
that.
got
was supposed to be
lucky
in rank. It
now.
was never supposed to be there.
I don't
But
even
here's the thing. You know what I think's gonna happen? The way this game is so fucked up because they don't have servers. Something's telling me that if they turn off Creative Fighter in rank, it's probably gonna turn off an unrank as well. I don't think they have control over it.
That's what I was just about to say. I think they made it
Okay.
easy. Like the way they get it in there online is just is either in there or it's not online. We don't know. We about to find out.
Right. But they lie a
Yeah.
lot. That's the thing. The fact that they're lying about why is it in the game right now, they're not taking account. Here's the thing. They're not taking any accountability for it. I think that's my main
But
point.
the
No
Yeah.
community
accountability.
gotta make them take accountability. That's the problem. That's what people don't like about me. I make them have accountability for what they say or do.
And the
They're like,
people's
Poe, why
making
you
them
keep
do it, and
bringing
the
that
people's
back
making them
up?
do it right now. The people's making them do it right now because people are less engaged in ranked. Like there's some of us who was I used the creative fighter in rank. I wasn't tripping, I was
But
beating
why
people
are
up.
people
But
less engaged and ranked?
I stopped
because
yo,
let you know that people be crying about them creative fighters. They quit now when they see them.
yo, since 2.0 and
Which
up to
I don't. But see, this
2.02,
the thing. This why.
I only played one game rank because I don't because of the quick glitch. I don't care anymore.
This
I
the
don't want to
thing.
put
This the
when
thing.
the
First
game
of all,
sorry, one second. When the game first came out back
That's
in what
look.
October,
That's
from October, November, December, I had about fucking almost 90 quick glitches on me. Then I had to take a break because all I'm doing because my ranking's going low because I'm just getting quick glitch. I don't want to go through that again with this shit. They reset the leaderboard, but what's the point?
let
and see,
luck
this the
talk.
thing that I always try to say too, man. The reason why ranked is so fucked up. Excuse my language. I don't know if I can cuss or not on here or whatever. But the reason why ranked is so messed up is because the community. Let's just be honest about it, bro. We could talk about creative fighters all day long, but I did a stream and I had proved my point. I'm like, every weight class that you go, people are gonna use the best fighters in that weight class, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're gonna use the meta. You already know.
Exactly. It's the community at the end of the day. And then I felt like when they put creative fighters in the game, it kind of like refreshed ranked online, but people was just like, no, they're overpowered. I'm like, well, how the fuck is the 85 overall creative fighter overpowered versus a 64 Ali or versus Terrence Crawford?
And
They got
and
one, they got level 1 traits for one. You feel what I mean? And then your attributes can only cap out at 85, so you can only be strong in certain areas. You got to give something. You feel what I'm saying?
And
Right.
Lux, the creative fighters exposed the skill gap, and that's what they cry about. Because
Yep.
those who were successful with creative fighters are actually skilled in the game. They even beat the cheese in the game. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to. It's a struggle. You got to be on point. That's one thing I like about creative fighters with the cap at 85. You can pump up whatever you pump up on that thing, but something's gonna be vulnerable. And in order for you to win and consistently with a creative fighter in rank, you have to be locked in. And
Yep.
that's why I'd be like, I don't like these guys just be crying, these casuals be crying. It's like, no, creative fighters, everybody has access to creative fighters. Like if you look at the biggest thing, it's Art of Jab. Art of Jab is the big scandal, like as far as him being an
The
active
big
player.
quick
And
glitch
it was like,
himself.
no, he wasn't quick glitching before creative fighters. See, that's what you miss in the context too. See, he started off where he was winning on rank before there was creative fighters. He was at the top of the board. The creative fighters came in and like I told you, they get inflated wins. You get 35 points for a win and 25 for a loss. So do the math. If you grind on the game, a creative fighter is going to climb the leaderboard faster than a regular fighter. So Art of Jab created a creative fighter. Then they got to complaining about that. And then people got to complaining. And then when they see a cap for whatever reason, they're quitting. But the quit glitch always been there. So is what I'm telling you is it's cooked. It's not the creative fighter like Lux say. It's the player base, but the player base can't fuck the game off if the game ain't fucked up itself. If the quick
I'm
glitch ain't there, the game they can't fuck up the game.
I agree
You know
with
what I'm saying?
that. I agree with that.
See that, so that's why it's be like everybody keep blaming the community. It's like no, because Lux grind on the game before he quit. There's an underground community to where if I plug in my PS5 right now, I can find some good work. I can find a clean fighter who don't lean back, who don't cheese, who do the nuanced head movement on the inside and everything. I can find good work because I know enough of the
Blaze,
good players who play
Blaze,
the
go to
game on me.
Art of Jab's YouTube channel. If you go to his YouTube channel, see if you could go to his live feed. See if you could find a live feed where he's actually playing rank. What you're gonna notice is he's only playing unranked now because he doesn't want nobody to see him quick glitch.
No, because I'm telling you, ranked ain't ranked no more because of what they did with the creative fighters, bro. And
I feel
I'm
like
telling
this.
you,
If you, I feel like this, man. You shouldn't be. You're not that good if you quit. Even if you are fighting a creative fighter, there ain't no excuse to quit, bro.
hey, Lux, bro, I'm a G. I'm not quitting ever. Like
Ain't
real
it
talk,
like
We get
I'll
yo,
there ain't
throw in
no
the
excuse to
I'll
quit.
throw in the towel. If
yeah,
I look,
we can't
check this
we
out.
can't give that guy an excuse to do it. Like it, I
No,
don't
I'm
know, man.
not. I'm not giving any excuse and saying I'm agreeing with it. I'm telling you the rationale why with them guys who be playing the game and everybody, and it's like fighting fire with fire, bro. Listen, bro, I don't understand how y'all can grind in rank. Anybody who grind in rank, I don't know how y'all can do it with the quick glitch. I don't have enough time in my life. I got job, I got kids, I got everything, bro. So when I use my skills and I get on the game and I'm moving up, and then it'd be like, hey, I'm taking losses or my rank's not moving because they're quitting on me. Like, bro,
Hey,
I can't
Hey,
spend time
bro.
trying to grind on
But
the
it'd be
game.
like,
yo, I'm
it's
just gonna
kind of.
make a
Let me
joke,
make
but
a comparison real
quick.
quick. Hold on, AJ. Let me make a comparison real quick. That'd be like me quitting in the first round because I see somebody exploiting the jab to the body before they so-called nerfed it. That's
But
what
I
that's
know,
the
but Lux,
equivalent to in a lot of ways, bro. It's like, oh, I see this creative fighter, which is an 85, and 9 times out of 10, they got Fundora, they got Crawford, they got Wilder, they got 64 Ali, they got Pacquiao, they got all the overpowered fighters fighting you, and they're gonna quit because you got an 85 overall creative fighter. Like, nah, bro. Like,
I
nah.
know, but Lux, there's no integrity with the game, with the player base, with gamers. See, that's
Yo,
the thing
yo,
when I come
but
on in here.
That's
I'm
across the
not a
board. I agree
gamer,
with
bro.
that.
I'm not a
but
gamer,
Blaze,
right?
here's the thing.
So I don't
No, but here's
care
the thing,
about the
Blaze.
win or losses. I be wanting to
So,
fight clean.
Blaze, you have a busy schedule and everything, right? Here's the thing you
Yeah.
probably didn't realize: the quick glitch right now, even the one on the pre-loading screen, guys are getting free. They're getting free ducks for that right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm. No, I know. I play
So
it every
that's what I'm
day. So
saying. So
now
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
this
When
shit just came
so
out.
so
This shit
so
just
when
came out in
guys
2.0.
when guys like Art of Jab are quitting and they're saying that, oh, well, I don't want to play a creative fight. Okay, fine. But at the same time, is he giving back the W? He's getting them for
But
free too.
I know, but what I'm
Counting
telling
his
you, that's
record.
why. But what I'm telling you is that's why it ain't never been legit. Because I watched somebody who wasn't doing that, or the jab wasn't doing that shit. And now he's doing that shit and they're making complaints about it. But it's like, hey, bro, this shit's broken. Everybody's doing that shit. Because if you get Arthur Jab in the lobby, he'll whoop your ass probably 10 out of 10 games. He's that good without the cheese. But this online experience is
Yo,
bogus. And I
I played
told
Art of Jab.
everybody, if they
I
don't fix
played
the
Art of
quick
Jab,
glitch,
and he beat me soundly. But one thing I only played him once. But one thing I noticed about him, there's something about I don't have a clue how he's reading me that quick every time. It's almost I hate to say it, but sometimes I feel these guys are using these Zen controls or something, man, because I found it
Man,
unusual that I could not
Hey,
get my
you know, they
punch out.
just had a report come out that said they caught over, I think it was like 3 million people with cheating devices on video
Yeah.
what
games.
for
So a lot
Because
of
undisputed or
no,
just
fucking
in
because
general?
losers
here's
out
the thing.
here.
I
It's a lot
know.
of
Well, here's the
That's
fucking
why
thing.
I'm
losers.
saying,
I
Lux.
consider
That's why I
myself
can't play that
above.
shit.
I consider myself above average at the game. But when I can't get my punch out, something doesn't make sense. I could sense it right away. You could like Lux when you're playing all the time. You could sense when you're playing somebody who's doing something like something's odd because even when you look at the stats at the end, you're like, how come the stats are so one-sided? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because man, like you say, dudes don't have integrity no more.
They don't have
I play
integrity.
Fight Night Champion for people who don't know. I play Fight Night Champion, and we all know that game is riddled with cheaters, Zen users, and it's like an unspoken rule in that community not to speak up against that shit. And I be trying to tell people, I'm like, what happened to the days that where if somebody caught you cheating, you got shunned from that community, bro.
Yup.
We didn't move. We
But
didn't got so far removed from that, and that's why gaming is so watered down now. That's why you run into
Yeah.
people, a lot of copycat motherfuckers, man. Let's just be honest
Yeah.
about it, man. Everybody
hey,
monkey
You know what
see,
it
monkey
is?
do.
It's like
but
snitching in the hood.
Yeah,
Snitching in the hood. You still can live in the hood.
yeah,
man.
but look though, here's what I tell y'all though. But here's what it is like, Lux, with the OGs like y'all, there's a real skill gap in undisputed. Like for me, I'm telling you, you gotta play at least like 100 hours to be competitive in this game. Real talk. For
Man,
you to
listen,
be
man.
competitive,
I've
for you
been
to win
playing
more
this
than you
game.
lose.
It's like one of my first videos that popped on Undisputed. I was ranting about Undisputed when everybody was praising the damn game.
I
AJ
was
Pack, no,
there.
he was
I
there.
was there, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was
And I was
there.
getting
But
mad.
I was telling
I was getting mad. Fuck.
yeah, but I was telling the truth, and you saw that down the long
I
run,
know.
right?
Hey,
Yeah.
you know how I know you're telling it. You know when I finally had that epiphany? About 2.5 weeks ago, I finally started playing UFC 5. MMA game, but just playing UFC 5, it woke me up to say it just popped my bubble about Undisputed in terms of being anything like an authentic boxing game. It's not there, man.
And nowhere near it. And see, this is
Nope.
the
Nowhere
thing.
near.
People can, and this,
Fight Night Champion is a better game
and this what I want to, this what I want to
overall.
emphasize. This what I don't get, right? Fight Night Forever, and what's the other one that they got coming out too as well?
Tell
That
us
shit is
things.
just Fight Night Champion with just skins, y'all.
Yeah,
I
Fight
hear a
Night
lot of
Forever.
people like, I can't wait for it to
Yeah.
come out. I'm like, just play
It's a
Yeah.
Fight
mod.
Night
Yeah.
It's a
Champion.
mod. It's a mod. It's a mod. That's all it is.
Just play
I,
Fight Night
if
Champion.
if
Like,
if
this is the
they
Exactly.
were
thing.
able to figure out how to change the animation, then it's a different level we're talking about.
But that ain't gonna happen.
No, that ain't
But
gonna
the
happen.
thing
I
is
don't
though,
think
but
they
the
got
thing
they
is,
would have
Lux,
to go into the code to be able to change the animations
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff.
you
If
gotta
they
but
put
were
Lux,
if they were doing that, then you'll hear then the talk is for real then.
But
but
you know
Lux,
what
the
is
problem
so
with the
much of a
oh,
disgrace? Like, you know what's so much of a disgrace? That game is 15 years old. And we're comparing it to a game in 2025.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
That's
yes.
what's so disgraceful.
But
I'm
the
talking
sad
about,
part
like, when
is
I used
it
to talk
took that
about this, I
long for
said
a
Fight
game.
Night Champion embodied the spirit of boxing. I'm talking about down from the cosmetics to your trunks. You can put your names on the trunk. You got different type of trunks,
Yup.
satin trunks.
Yup.
You got metallic trunks. You had all different types of things.
Yup.
Even the fucking
Basic
story
shit,
mode
basic shit,
was
Hold up,
basic
like
hold
shit.
up. Lux, you were in there when I was trying to gather people to come to my creation site, right?
I
In the,
believe so. I believe so.
yeah, because we had a lot of talented creative character people in there. I think that's EA, and I'm not an EA fan, even though I was
Me
helping them like
neither. Me
JP
neither.
worked
I don't
for 'em.
trust EA as far as I could throw them.
Yeah. So yeah, their boxing trunks look better than what we got on in Undisputed.
Man,
Yeah,
I think
but
about a
see,
lot of even like pay attention to the crowd in Fight Night Champion versus the crowd in Undisputed. How much lively the crowd is in Fight Night Champion. It give you that feel like you at an actual event, a fighting
Yeah.
event.
but Lux, the issue with it is Fight Night was on a triple A when they and then that's the reason, you know, and then with other sports, EA chose to invest in football and then invest in UFC.
And
So
that's
they
what I was saying to
abandoned
Poe
boxing.
yesterday. That's what I said
They
to Poe. You remember
abandoned
I
it.
told you that, Poe?
You feel me?
Yeah.
They
They left
they
away
abandoned
from
boxing.
they
Hold up.
abandoned that they abandoned boxing because they fighting UFC began to get popular at that time.
And
I remember.
it's a closed league too, though. If you think about making it like similar, like you already got Madden, right? So if you just license and just exclusively make a UFC, then the fighters is there. You know, you can update the roster. After everybody fight, like there's some things for having a league, right? That you're investing in making a game for, and then the Wild Wild West of boxing, bro. I think that's what the
Yeah, but
biggest issue is.
this is
Boxing's
what a
Wild Wild
lot of
West.
people like. A lot of people don't see behind the curtain. I was behind the curtain. Fight Night Champion didn't do good. They already had Fight Night Champion 2 planned. They were gonna make a Fight Night Champion 2. But because people,
Exactly, money talk.
yeah,
And I
we
think then
went
they
on.
closed down
No,
EA Canada.
we went. Yeah, we
Yeah.
get the whole community on all internets and everything. They telling their friends. They did a silent protest once they found out that Fight Night Champion wasn't the game they thought it was going to be. Because I remember I sent them a whole wish list. Everybody was excited. Yay! Poe, you got them. They're gonna do the wish list and stuff. And then when we heard back when Anthony Indico 72 came back and he told me what the game was, I said, tell him nigga keep that copy. I don't want my free copy. Because I knew what the game was.
So what was your issue with Fight Night Champion? That's my question.
It still was arcade. It was over centralized. Everything.
But Poe,
It was like a Rocky movie.
Poe, it's like this. It's arcade. It's a balance of arcade and sim, bro. It is. You can still sim on that game to a certain degree, but let's be realistic. It's a video game. How can you really get a true sim experience? Even we looking at that with 2K now. You're not getting a true sim experience. It's a little bit of arcade, and it got to be some type of balance between arcade and sim. It got to be.
But if you compare 2K basketball to what Fight Night Champion was, which would you say is more realistic?
It depends on which 2K we talking
look,
about.
but you gotta
If we
say
talk about
2K.
2K around that, if we talking about 2K around that time, I would have to say Fight Night
If
Champion.
you're talking about at that time, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And this is
But
the
that's
thing.
what I'm
What
saying.
do a
You
lot
have to
of
do
people
an
say? What do I say
imagination.
now? What do I say now? Fight Night Champion, now that we look at it, that game was ahead of its time. Even when you look at it graphically wise, like you look at the cosmetics, story mode, legacy mode, the training games in it, that game was ahead of its time.
I mean, the
But
unfortunate
thing
part
is,
about it
didn't
is
sell. That's
here's
what
the
hurt
unfortunate.
it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why they didn't do it. And that's where I'm going to get at. The unfortunate
Did
part
it not
about it is
did it not sell
it-
because people were dissatisfied with the game, or
Yep,
did it
that's
not
what.
sell because
I think
UFC
it's
was
just
on
the
the rise
market.
at that time?
I think it
No.
was the market for boxing. I mean,
I'm
too. I
saying
think it
from the
was.
inside. I'm not saying
Because
from
that's
the
around the time
outside.
that Floyd Mayweather and Marquez fought when Fight Night Champion came out. That's around the same time.
It was a lot
Look,
of boxing matches that like
I
high
would
profile
just say
fights.
this, right? I would just say this from my perspective. And like I said, I got a unique experience because there's a gap in me playing these games. You feel me? Because I was away. I would just say this. EA unfortunately abandoned boxing because if you do the imagination of what a boxing game would be, what Fight Night would be, like from what I heard, like Fight Night Round 4 was a little more technical than Fight Night Champion, and they added the story mode and got a little more
It
arcadish.
was. It
We
wasn't
would
an
we
auto
would
block in Fight Night
It
Round 4.
wasn't an auto block exactly manual. If they would have continued with the technical nuances and reinvested in a boxing game, then you would have something that you would say that's up to 2025 standards. But what
And
we
see,
had was we had
this was another
SCI.
thing. This was another thing with the Fight Night franchise. I didn't mean to cut you off either, my brother. I apologize.
No, it's all
Uh,
good. It's all good.
no, but this was the main thing with the Fight Night franchise. It was getting better because you remember Fight Night Round 4 when it first came out. People were complaining that the roster was too bare bones. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
They was complaining that the roster was too bare bones. So then when they came out with Fight Night Champion, they had a whole bunch of other fighters, and then they you got to customize your fighters. You got to do all different types of things, and they introduced a new stamina feature in the game called anaerobic stamina. Any of y'all familiar with that?
Anabolic, and that's
Anabolic. My bad. My anabolic.
That's
Pretty much to whereas if you use the same muscle, if you use the same muscle
fatigue.
fatigue. You will get tired.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You feel what I mean? I thought that was kind of dope. I thought it was a lot of features within that game that people kind of overlooked. And today, when we go back and visit it, we kind of appreciate it a little bit more after playing Undisputed.
And they
And
add
so,
the
yeah, and
tendencies in there.
What
That
is
and
was
that,
a
so,
brother?
game
yeah.
changer.
And so this is what I'm going to end before I get off. And that's the point. You got to remember, EA is a major AAA game maker. SCI is indie, and that's what we got. We got an indie,
We can't
watered
use that
down
as an
product.
excuse,
No,
Blaze.
I'm
We
not
can't use
saying
that as an
no.
Yeah,
excuse,
it's not
bro.
a can't
Lux.
use
I'm
that.
not making it as an excuse. I'm calling a spade a spade. I'm not making no excuse, but I'm telling you what we got. We got a cheap game that they sold at AAA prices. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
that's what
saying.
they
That's
made,
true.
And
but they got
I'll always agree
high
with that, man.
profile
Look,
developers. They have high profile developers on the team. I
I
know that
know, and
for a fact.
they gypped us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm
you
telling
don't
you,
see
look,
that
I'm
as an
saying they
issue. You
gypped
don't
us.
see that as an issue though.
Yes, I see it as an issue. I do. That's why we're talking about it. I see it as an issue, and I see why they was able to take advantage and exploit us due to supply and demand, due to there not being no competition. They was able to put out this shit, and we had to accept it for what it is. And everybody's running out of faith in them because now we're a year, 14 months in, and they capping. And not only are they capping, they shooting their own self in the foot. So
Yeah,
I'm,
and they
I'm,
ain't just
I'm just
robbed
I'm
you
just
once, they
calling it
done
like I
robbed you
see
the
it.
whole 14 months.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what the thing is like I said, it's like with me, it's like, hey man, it's a boxing game. There's enough stuff on it that works that if I play my guy Aztec or if I play you, I'm having a satisfying experience. With the hope that, like I told you, I'm looking at this like Madden 90 and they get their shit together. If they don't get their shit together, then it's like, hey, we ain't gonna play it.
But
Or
see,
if you just like
Madden,
boxing, you're gonna play it, or
but
then
Madden
or
90
hopefully a
didn't put a
competitor come
bad
through.
taste in your mouth though.
I know. I
That's what I'm saying.
know.
Madden 90 did not put a bad taste in your mouth. Pause. For all you young fellas out there, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for all
It
that. They
didn't.
need that year. I'm
Madden
39, so I
90
know what you
made
mean.
you wanted to go to Madden 91. Madden 91 made you wanted to see what was
and
next
and,
on Madden
and
92.
and because it
This
was
one
because it was
makes me be
this
listen,
like,
yeah, I'm not looking. I'm not caring for Undisputed 2 when it comes out.
I
yeah.
don't, I feel like they should give it to us for free. They done robbed us for a whole
For real.
year. They done
That
robbed us
shit
for
should
a whole
be
year.
Yeah, they
Drop
ain't gonna
that
do
shit for
that.
free. And if we think it's good, we'll buy your DLCs. That'll make up for sales.
Oh yeah, this what I was trying to tell Blaze because he think the company doesn't have money. They sold over 1 million copies.
no,
Yeah, they
no,
got
no. I
plenty
didn't
of
say
money.
no. Listen to me, Poe. I didn't say that. No, I know they got
Oh,
the money. That's why I'm telling you. I expect for them to reinvest in the sequel. You see what I'm saying? They got the bread. We
yeah.
should get a
Didn't Turkey
AAA
come in
game
at some
if they're gonna
point
pay us
too?
AAA profit. I mean, that's speculation. We was talking about that earlier. I don't know. I heard they gave them like 20 million for the game. I don't know, but like I said, I just heard it in passing. But look, this is my thing. That's why I'm telling you with the moment of truth. The moment of truth is they got us on Undisputed One. They got our
Yeah.
bread. We know they got the bread. The moment of truth is if they go to this Unreal Engine and make Undisputed 2, that's the moment of truth. Because if that shit don't got clinches, parries in it, and boxing shit in it that we know is supposed to be in it, and they don't fix the desync, then it's like, hey, bro, it is
No,
what it
Hey
that's
is,
what I was
Blaze,
and
thinking.
we're
hey
not
Yeah,
gonna
Blaze,
desyncs.
and
They're
we're
only
not
going to
gonna
fix
buy it.
desync.
hey
Exactly,
Blaze. Let me tell
desync.
you
They gotta
this. You
fix
want me to
desync.
tell you what the moment of truth was? Is when whoever they paid to test this game gave the okay to release it on console.
Oh,
True.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's who it
Yeah.
is.
On everything.
You know what's
Yeah.
going on? They got fighting game fans testing a boxing game.
Nah,
And
that's
a
right.
lot of
That's
these
true,
boxing
Lux.
game people, I mean, these arcade fighting game people, they don't know what boxing is.
But
They
I
probably
think, like I
super
said,
casual.
is people can call them scammers because they knew they was giving us an incomplete game. Like I
Yup.
And then
told
on
you, and
top
like I
of that,
told
let's
you,
be realistic. Let's be realistic. I said the only reason that we here, I said this in the comments if y'all read it earlier, the only reason why
yeah,
we all here is because of ESBC. And the footage and what they were showing us over time. I was one of those people that bought early access and was playing and was
Yup.
giving them a lot
Yup.
of feedback on things that was going on.
Yup.
Like,
Yup.
you know where they fucked up. This is why they increased the power punches for console because we said the punches wasn't popping like they was supposed to. Do
yeah,
anybody remember that? We like the
Yup.
punches ain't popping like they don't feel like they're effective like
Pillow
they need to
fists. It
be.
was
yeah,
pillow
We didn't
fists.
mean crank the shit up to where
yeah. Turn and
motherfuckers is
break the
getting
knob
punched
off.
out the
Yeah,
ropes and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
And,
nah, you make a good point. Lux, it's like, hey man, in 2025, they sold us an incomplete bogus game. Like I said, when I downloaded that shit said 15 gigs. I knew it was light. I knew the pack was light.
because at some point, like
Real
I
talk.
mean, don't get it twisted. Early access had its issues, and then there was a time I believe in between which versions did they kind of like abandon the community and they wasn't saying shit for a while. Then they
Oh
came
yeah,
back, they made tweaks, and it was better. And then the version right before they released it, that was probably one of the best versions I think I played of it.
yeah.
The
So
beta.
it seemed like when they went quiet for that long time, they was rebuilding the game according to how Will wanted it to be. Because that long layoff was crazy.
Yeah, it
Yo, you know
was.
what?
And it
You know what
pissed
I
a lot
never
of
got?
people off too. It pissed people
Yo,
off.
when they released version 1.0, why did they add all those features suddenly? Why didn't they test that in the beta?
Yeah.
And listen,
But like I said, this whole thing's just bad. Just to how they launched it, it's just terrible.
I made a poll. Would y'all rather have took the version? Would you rather them release the version that they got right now on console and just waited to this time around this time this year and release the game?
So
The
again,
version that we got right now.
uh,
Could y'all have
Yeah, I
waited to
think they
this
should.
version that we got right
I
now?
think they should have waited. I think they should have waited till they had
It would have
crossplay
been a
down
little
pat.
bit
I
more
think
acceptable.
acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they
Because
would
you
have.
have
And
all
that's
the
the
fighters that we got now. They would have been
yeah.
absolutely free. We still like desync. We would have complained about it, but it wouldn't have been as bad because they got some of the shit fixed a little bit. A
Yeah, a
little
little bit.
bit. When you play. So like I felt like they should have waited, man. I don't know if it was investors that was pressuring them to put the
Yep. That's who it
put the
was.
product out or what it was,
Yeah.
but they
Get their
should have
return on
waited, man. Like
investment. Yeah.
GTA,
Get their money.
I'm happy as hell GTA said I'm gonna wait another year before we drop. Thank you. That's what a lot of these games need to do. They need to take their time and develop these games and put more passion into them.
Yeah. Because when I talked to Ash, he didn't want no publishers because he know what was gonna happen. Because he kept saying, "This is my game." He said, "I don't want no publisher. I want to self-publish." But he let the publisher pop up in there.
Man,
But
hey man, they probably do.
it's like signing a deal.
You
Yeah,
said what,
like,
bro?
It's like signing a major deal. You feel me? It's like you
yeah.
need the money to get it out to the masses. They sold out.
But his
Pretty
thing
much.
is,
That's what I was gonna say.
he didn't need the publishers. All he needed was them investors. And I wish he would have just Turkey Al Sheikh would have made his presence known before he signed anything. Man, you know what
That's a
kind of
fact.
game? You know what kind of game we will have now? Wow.
And
And
see,
then you know it gets me mad that people keep saying, Poe, you asking for too much. Everybody asking for too much. No, they're not.
No,
no, we
motherfuckers is
paying
act- we're
customers. How we
simply
asking for
asking
too
for
much?
stuff that we already seen happen in the game, bro. That's the thing
Yeah.
where that ain't no. They like no. Like I said, how there ain't no clinching and ain't no period in a boxing game.
Exactly.
That don't make
One
no
version it
sense.
was clinching. It was kind of clunky, but it was clinching in one
Yeah.
version of Undisputed, bro.
That's what they should have been fixing. Because if you
But
could
what I
put
do know
boxes
is like
in the game, you could
What I-
fix these things.
And that's what I'm saying. And when I'm looking at clinching, all I got to do is look at the UFC game. They got a whole ground game in which they're grappling. So there's no way they can have something more just with just clinching. That's way
Hey
less
man,
complex
I
than
say this all
grappling.
the time. This game is ran on a mobile game app engine.
yep.
Yeah.
It's ran on a mobile game app engine. You can pull
Oh
up
man.
mobile boxing games that's better than this fucking game, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
It just
That
looked
was
beautiful. It looks amazing. Like you when you play it on PC, I know on my PC I'm running like 300 frames per second playing that game. It looks amazing. But bruh, like I could pull up the same shit on my phone, find a random boxing game, start playing, and it's gonna be equivalent to Undisputed.
and
I
that's
heard
crazy.
my man AJ Pack say the career mode was disgraceful, and it was disgraceful.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. Nothing
But you see
changed
how
from the,
they was building it up, trying to make us think that it was going to be in depth and have everything that we ever wanted in the game. I'm like, oh man.
and then
It's
you start
horrible.
All
playing.
right, peace, fellas. I gotta go, but I appreciate being able to
All
chop
right,
it up with y'all.
peace.
No problem, bro. I appreciate y'all add me up on the panel too, man, because like I was one of the first ones that was kind of like speaking out about this game, and people was talking shit about me, and I'm just like, bro, like y'all not realizing I was invested into this game. I got the highest version on console. I bought it in early access. And like, bro, I've been invested into this game. I had my channel geared to go towards Undisputed. But once the night on when it dropped on console and I started playing that shit, I tried to get a refund the same night.
Oh man.
Live on
You
stream. I promise you I did.
You
'Cause it
basically
what I-
did what I did because I made a creation because like I did for Fight Night. I made a creation site for this game. I was excited, like, oh, they're gonna have a good because the creation mode looked like it's gonna be good. So I made a whole site. I was doing all this research, getting the boxers' names, lining them up and everything. And then when the game stopped, man, I abandoned that site.
Man, it was kind of like a slap in the face. I'm not even gonna lie, because it was like
It was.
we was lied to the whole time, man. We was sold, like I said, they sold us on ESBC. We was cool in early access. We thinking we gonna get this simulation boxing game. Finally, we ain't had one in 15 years. And
that's
when we
what
get
sold
one,
the game. That's what sold the
was
game.
like
that video.
That shit, when it dropped on console, the shit was like NFL Blitz of boxing with Deontay Wilder, featuring Deontay Wilder. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Everybody was out there power spamming. Because I remember on early access, if you threw too many power punches, you would be tired, bro. Like, you had to really, like, count your power punches in early access for those who played in early access.
Yeah.
So, like, man.
I like the version that they get, the early access. I like how that was playing. I was like, oh, man, I'm playing online. Because if anybody know me, I'm not an online player. But I was playing online, and I loved it. I was like, yo, this boxing. It just need a little tweak. It just needed little tweaks to the gameplay. Because the punches were like fighting pillow fight.
Yo, Lux.
Yo, I'm still here, brother.
About how many games have you played online now? Like, how many matches?
Just
online.
On console, I probably played 100 something maybe, and on
100.
PC, I'm only at like 60 or 70.
Okay, so just based on console, how do you find cutting off the ring in the game?
You can't. People argue with me all day long and say that you can. You can't. In Fight Night, I hate to keep on comparing Fight Night Champion. In Fight Night Champion, you can cut off the ring effectively.
You got to.
So watch this. I just started playing UFC 5, and the first thing I know is I could cut off the ring. That was the first thing I know is I could trap a guy. I can't do that in Undisputed. I could do it, but it's like you have to really, I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong. It's like it's really playing too 2D. The game is like, it's just something about it. Even though it has the better foot movement, it feels like it's 2D. Something's
like
off.
this, they got the foot movement ass backwards because see, it's only two fighters I've never seen in history that fight good moving backwards. One is Larry Holmes and one was Muhammad Ali, and that's because of their jabs. Like, you're not that effective going backwards fighting, and in that game, you're more effective going backwards fighting.
Yeah,
which makes zero sense. Zero sense. Think about it. Can you run faster going backwards?
Nope.
Not really.
So why in the game you can go so fast going backwards that a person can't cut you off? I can't meet you at the ropes. You feel what I'm saying?
Check this out, though.
But why is
remember we were able to run in the game? We were able to run in the game to catch up, to close the distance.
Mm-hmm.
They took that out. That's crazy. That would have stopped all of that.
All the good shit they took out of the game. They took out of the game. I don't understand it. I don't understand
inside
all of the real
fighting,
shit that would occur in boxing. What was that,
when
brother?
we saw the videos of inside fighting, Joe Louis was inside fighting with I think Frazier.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah, that's crazy. They took these things out. You could be fixing these instead of making DLC. You're making characters.
How long
Pretty
do you
much
think it
instead of
takes them to
fixing the
make the
game.
characters?
That's why it was
Isn't it just
blowing
like
my
they're
mind
just
when people was like,
based
"Oh,
on
I'm
it?"
getting this DLC." I'm like, "You really buying? Like, you missing the point of why I don't support and why I don't like buy extra stuff in this game because they haven't fixed the game." And then it got to the point to where I realized that they weren't able to fix the game because it's a coding issue. It's like, oh, this game cooked, bro. I ain't putting no more money into this. It is what it is.
They told on themselves. They knew people still was. It's like a husband, you know the joker abuser, but you still going back.
Right. At that point, I'm done talking to you. At that point, I'm done talking to you.
You know, I wasted over close to what, 180 US on this game.
Yeah, around that much. You got to think early access was about $30-some.
I didn't even include early access.
More money than that.
Man, they wild, man. Like even with this, I love Manny Pacquiao, but
I got hooked on buying DLC. I snapped out of it now, man.
Oh yeah, hey man, AJ, you was one of the biggest defenders of this game, bro, and that's why I used to love when you came through my channel, bro. On some real shit, and like that's why when you told me the other day you was blocked, I actually literally I had like a stalker in my comment section, like copying people profiles, and I think one day he copied your profile and was saying some crazy shit, and one of my moderators blocked you.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's why, like, it wouldn't like. That's why I was telling you the other day, like, bro, I would never block you for having an opinion. That ain't how we roll over there on my channel. You feel what I mean?
But yeah, I was saying, I used to watch the fight, and I used to hate it. I said, why is this guy playing? Why aren't you playing Undisputed yet, man? Like,
We
fuck.
catching bodies, man. We catching bodies, man. Catching bodies and Undisputed. Hey, in the beginning, I was catching bodies and Undisputed. If I would have kept playing, I probably would be okay in that game. Now I'm still kind of decent. You feel what I'm saying? But I just, like I say, man, I can't support a game that I know is not finished. It's a broken game, bro. There's a lot of shit that I want to
It's
do in
not
that game, like
finished.
on my channel. Go ahead, bro. What you say, Poe?
It's not finished, and they telling us the truth, and people still not listening.
Hey,
They
that's
say the
because you had a
game
lot of
is,
the big creators out here, bro, that was
yeah,
like praising this game.
yup,
And I
None,
understand
none,
everybody got
none,
to make
none-
their money,
yeah,
but at the end of the day, you got to tell
yeah.
the truth, bro. We all
yup,
consumers at the end of the day, and this ain't what
yup,
we signed up for.
yup. I was a creator for Undisputed, ESBC Undisputed. Man, I left because you know how I am. If you know me from the EA forums, I'm not gonna accept anything just mediocre.
Yeah, see, yeah, man, and I do sim boxing. I feel like I can't do sim on this game. People say, "Oh, you can sim, you can sim." I'm like, how? I'm like, you
Yeah,
see what you're doing? I'm like, how many people you know they land a jab to the body and then they hit you with 3 more punches to the head? How many fights you done seen to where a fighter can't cut off the ring? Like it makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. So, like in my honest
But
opinion,
but 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 why is it happening? Like, why is it on the EA side?
what
They
you
they
mean?
they Okay, so if you play UFC 5 or if you play Fight Night Champion, why are you able to cut off the ring more efficiently than in Undisputed? What is it? Is
Because
it
they
a
have
um,
setting?
people because they
I
Is
have
it
could
a,
play
people
a
that
devil's
setting?
understood
advocate with
boxing
that.
that developed that
Did they
game.
Yeah,
say
They
it
had
I
again?
could.
people who understood boxing that developed that game.
Yeah,
Like the people who made Fight Night Champion, one thing you could say about it, they were very, very passionate about that game.
yeah. Brizzo was very passionate about it because I
It
used to
was
be saying, "Brizzo, do you have this?" And I'd be giving him videos and stuff like that. He's like, "Yeah, I got that, Poe." He said, "The thing is, no matter how I feel or think, we got people above me." He said, I sneak certain things in or get them to put certain things in, but the game is not going to be realistic, not at this point. And he used to tell me it's up to us. If we all band together, which I keep telling everybody with still see, I mean, we're undisputed. We all band together and be one voice. We did it with Fight Night. Everybody like went on a silent, we're not buying the game. And they didn't buy the game. And people always say, well, the forums don't mean nothing. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they
A lot
do.
of these
That's
people that be on the EA forums, they're on every other forum.
and see, they don't
And they
understand those developers and people, they watch those forums. They look at those
yeah,
forums. Y'all think they don't be reading the comments and people videos? You think they
yeah,
don't be in these forums reading about their game? With that day, AJ Paxson, when you was in the chat the one day when I was talking about Undisputed, do you know the Porterway podcast commented in that chat that day? That let me know
uh-huh,
right there, like these people are actually paying attention to their product
yeah,
out here. And there
yeah.
was a lot of bad press behind it at that time. And I was one of those people giving them bad press, which I don't care because like don't play with my emotions. Don't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a
Uh,
boxing head. Like you know what I mean? Like y'all know that by me playing Fight Night for as long as I be playing that fucking shit for
yeah,
hours. You
yeah,
gotta love boxing to do that. But
yeah,
like, yeah, bro, they played off our emotions. Like won a new boxing game. It's been 15, 14 years at that point.
yeah,
We would have took anything. We took anything if you want to be honest.
yeah. I think they shut Sean Porter down because Sean Porter was asking questions that they was like, yo, why are you asking us these questions? Because Sean Porter was trying to be our voice. He's like, nah, Ash, you know, he's gonna answer this question. Then the next week, Ash didn't answer the question. He said, we're gonna keep having Ash and other people on the team. Yeah, it sounded good, but Ash was like, oh heck no, you ain't exposing us.
Yo, yeah, what's the
You
name
ain't
of that
exposed.
new Discord moderator? I keep on hearing that something XO.
Yeah,
What is that?
EXO.
Who's that
That's what
person?
they said. I don't know nothing about them because I left. I left before they kicked me out again.
No, but what is that person? They're like the new what? They're like
Community manager. Community
man.
manager.
Okay, I'm 100% that whatever that person's name is, XO. That's a girl. That's a girl's account. I'm pretty sure. I
Why
have
you
a feeling.
say?
Well, because XO, no man's. How many guys are gonna put XO as their signature? That's like what do you call love and no kisses and hugs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
that ain't no
spelled
man doing that. I agree with you on that.
EXOH.
Exactly. I think it's this is it's funny to say, but I think it's that girl's staff. She doesn't want to take the criticism, so they open a second account, but it's the same person.
Could be. You know that's Ash's daughter, right, Lux?
No.
Yeah, that's his daughter. She used to be trying to
Go,
calm me
go,
down. She used to come in my DMs and try to calm me down and stuff. Try to be my friend. I said,
got her
that don't work with
playing
me.
the mediator.
Yeah, I told. I said that don't work with me. He used to try to wine and dine me, and I still was talking crazy.
Man,
Still, I
sometimes,
want you to,
but see, Paul, we need people like that, man. That's gonna speak up and tell the truth, man. That's only how we
yeah.
bring change. I tell people when you tell the truth and you keep it real, like when people band together, then they start looking. Then they start looking like, okay, well, maybe we should change this.
Exactly.
But
And
until
that's what
as long as
Grizzle.
people
Yo,
lie
the
and say,
change,
"Oh man,
yo,
it's the best boxing game that's been out in years," "Oh man, it's the best simulation boxing game that I've ever had," like you lying to
Oh man.
yourself.
yo, the change is gonna be with a different game, and it's gonna be a change to a different game. It's not gonna be this game. It's not gonna be with Undisputed 2. They're not gonna. This is what they already made their money on this. They're convinced that 1.3 million bought this game because it's a good boxing game.
I tell you
But
this:
I think
if
it's
EA was
going to
to
change
announce,
because Ash want the game to be real. Because you can hear it. Ash sound like a hostage. He really sound like a hostage. I was saying that before, even when I was in the thing. And they were trying to say I was talking slick about Ash, and I wasn't. Ash acts like a hostage because he keeps saying, even though I want a realistic game, it's your game.
right? Facts. So
He
if you
keeps
want a
saying,
realistic game, put out a realistic game.
exactly. And they keep telling him it's not going to sell. It's going to sell. That's what's when people saw that video, which was realistic looking, that's what sold the game. Then
I
when
know it
people
Yo,
got
sold me. I'm like, oh my goodness.
how big
And
is
you
the
know what?
market?
One can say that ESBC version still looks better than what we got now.
It does. It
Even like
does.
the heart monitor, the little heart rate thing that they had, like everything was different.
Yes, exactly. And when Will came in the Discord, he tried to act like he didn't know what it was. I was like, come on, man. That's why you there.
That's
And
when
I
you got to
hate that
pull
I
them
made
receipts
him
out
get
on them.
that job. I hate that I helped him get that job.
That's when you got to pull them receipts out on them. But hey, let me tell y'all this
And
though,
I
man.
got the
Like,
receipt.
let me tell y'all this, man. I appreciate y'all having me up here. I got to get out of here tonight, man. Hey, Poe, man, I appreciate you, man, keeping it real about this game, man. And I appreciate you keeping the community engaged on what needs to change within this game and, you know, what we can look forward to. And one thing I do want to say before I leave up out of here is, though, they better pray and hope that they don't have a game, don't have no competition come along.
Exactly.
They better hope and
Dude,
pray that. And they better,
Dips,
like,
man.
if they coming out with Undisputed 2, they better drop it soon, because if another game get a chance to develop before they come out, it's a wrap.
Let me
And it's
tell you this
good, and it
before
be
you leave.
good.
Let me tell you this before you leave. I made a post how you can make $2.5 billion off of a boxing video game. And it's structured. I got the data and everything. I posted it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where all developers are at. I got over it's probably 700 now. people that liked my video that actually looked at it. So I could see a lot of companies popping up with games.
Did you you posted on your YouTube channel, Bo?
No, I posted it on LinkedIn. I posted the article, but I got the article itself. I could
You
post
should
it
post
to
that.
you.
You should post that on your YouTube in your community section, bro. That might be a good read. I might want to check that out.
All right. Oh, sure, I'll do that.
Hey, I appreciate y'all though. AJ, man, appreciate you asking me to
Appreciate
come
you
on. Poe, I
popping up,
appreciate you
man.
having me up here
Lux,
too,
we
brother.
have to play Undisputed.
Anytime, man. I'm gonna be on every
Discord.
day. I'm gonna be on every day for probably until the 3rd, because the 3rd is my birthday. I'm gonna be on every day.
I'll be here. I'll be here. What you say, AJ, before I get out of here, bro?
I said we have to play Undisputed. I haven't played you in Undisputed yet.
Man, hey man, tap in, man. I'm gonna do an Undisputed stream probably tomorrow because I got it kind of like every other day I do Fight Night, I do Undisputed, so I don't leave people hungry. So check me out, man. Check me out, AJ, man. I added you back, so we good, bro. I appreciate y'all, brothers, though.
All right. I gotta tap into your YouTube. Am I part of your YouTube?
Yeah, I think you are. I think you did follow me, Paul.
Okay. Because I'll be trying my best to make sure I be a part of the community.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah,
all right,
definitely,
man. I appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you too. Charlene Frey said, I would love to try the ESBC build. A lot of people would. A lot of people. That's crazy. And every time I see that build, like I watch the video, man, I get madder and madder. And that's not the only video that looked that good. The one with Lyndon Arthur. That looks good too. Who was that? Lyndon Arthur and Oakley. They're fighting. Yo, I was like, yo, that's what we thought we was gonna get. This is not the best boxing game it could have been. It's sad. Yeah, it really is. And I'm thinking that we might not get what we really want.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Unreal 2. I mean, what's it? Unreal? Undisputed 2, because they already got their mind set on, realism doesn't sell, and I don't know because Ash was full geared on realism sell. He's going to
nobody's asking for defense. Nobody's asking for defense. Nothing.
Nobody.
They're not asking. All they're asking for is to fix desync. That's all they care about right now. So that's what's going to happen. If that's the solution, they'll get desync fixed. But I don't expect them to do anything. This will be like what we have here is the core. I don't see them adding anything to it.
This Dominique said, let's make a trade, Will, for Brian Hayes. Oh man, that was funny, man. I needed that laugh. That's true. I kind of think that Ash thought he was getting Brian Hayes. Brizzo. Yeah, and I was trying to get an interview with Brizzo. I was talking about it earlier. And he said I had to respectfully decline because Brizzo know how I am. Because I asked him questions to make him say things that he don't want to say. Brizzo would tell everything. Brizzo, he'll tell you everything, and he don't want to mess up his contacts with EA and different stuff like that. So I know he's not going to come on the show and let me drill him about certain things.
Yo, how big is the boxing video game market? Approximately.
Dad, it's massive. It's massive. And that's what I'm like. Still City, they dropped the ball because I got all the data on the post that I made, because you got to look at it like this. When it comes to the boxing, it's a global sport. It's a global sport. Then you got the amateur circuit. Then you got to think about with the amateur circuit, you got the amateur boxers and their families. Then you got the pros, the amateur, the pros, they got their families and their fans. So it's a big market. And the thing is, they keep calling the game a niche. It's not a niche. The market is too big for it to be a niche. Too much money is being put into boxing for it to be a niche. But that's their excuse for their development. It's not a niche. Saying
You
it's
know
a
what's
niche.
funny? You know what's funny? The EA UFC series, they don't publish the numbers for it.
Yeah.
They don't tell you how many units it sold. Nothing. I wonder why.
I know I don't think the game really done what they want. That's the only
But
time
that's
they do that.
well,
Like
that's what I'm saying.
I know four didn't do that well.
Well, here, going back to that whole thing with the boxing, like how big is the market? In 2006, they sold Fight Night sold 3.14 million copies, or
Fight night
3.4.
what? Which fight night?
Fight Night Round 3 in 2006, it sold
Oh yeah.
3.14 million in
I think
sales.
that's the highest selling one at a short
2000,
time.
2009, Fight Night Round 4, 2.92, and then the last one in 2011, 1.91. And
But
that's what killed them. 1.91 killed them.
But what killed them is it took them 10 years to sell that a mini. They're not telling you that. They try to make
Yeah.
it look good. It should take 10 years to sell that many copies. So Undisputed, even though it's a bad game, it messed on them in 1 week. Undisputed 2 needs a ref in the ring holding parries, clinching, parries, catch and shoot. Exactly. And these are things they're intentionally not putting in the game from my research. I forget that there's actually a community where you can make posts in YouTube. I forgot about that. Like make posts.
What do you mean on your blog? You talking about?
On YouTube, because he wanted me to post one of my blogs on YouTube.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah. Okay, I know what he's talking
I
about.
forgot about the community section. Yeah. Salute, Dominique. Yo, make sure y'all hit the like and follow if you ain't following. What time is it? Man, y'all made me go way over my time.
What time are you supposed to finish? 8?
I was gonna do an hour, but
oh shit.
Oh well.
What time you start? You start at 6.
Yeah. Because
No.
I'm trying to stretch it out.
No, it was good, man. We got 2 people. We got 2 people, man.
Yeah.
Lux and Blaze. So that was a good one.
Yeah, let me finish reading my blog so I could that I was reading earlier. Let me see. The Content Creators Influence and Industry Accountability blog. I also wrote a powerful blog on the role of content creators. I explain how creators shape perception, how they can uplift the push for authenticity, and how they can be used by studios to normalize watered down mechanics. Listeners need to know that creators are part of the ecosystem. They can help elevate boxing or they can help hold it back depending on their knowledge and priorities. The Why Boxing is Not Niche blog. We was just talking about that. A major post breaking down the industry lie that boxing is niche. I explain how boxing has a global footprint, massive amateur participation, international audiences, cultural history, and deep generational influence. Any exact claiming the sport is niche hasn't studied actual data. A realistic or sim boxing game built with depth, marketed correctly, and support long term could sell extraordinarily well. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They keep pushing that niche narrative and stuff. It's them trying to find a way to water down things and make people fall for it because people keep repeating it. They can't do this. They can't do that. Yes, they can. Stop talking like we live in 15, 20 years ago.
But
All right.
what would make it a niche?
When they
Well,
say
first of all,
niche, it's not really that popular. It's like boxing is majorly popular. When they say niche, that's what they be trying to say. Not that many people are really like interested in boxing, which is the craziest thing I ever.
so it's
It makes
a specialized segment of the market.
but the money is so much money in boxing, and I'm pretty sure if they make the game the way we saw for the trailers and stuff, the game would have sold exceptionally. All right, I'm gonna read my summary, the blueprint summary blog. Of course, there's the overall blueprint summary itself. The blog ties together the blog ties everything together: mechanics, animation, AI, modes, presentation, realism, immersion, long-term progression, career depth, authentic representation. It shows what a complete boxing ecosystem looked like, not a rush arcade hybrid, but a real boxing video game. There are just a handful of 1,300 blogs I've written. The blueprint is a complete living document. It's the most detailed breakdown of how to build a realistic or sim boxing video game that exists anywhere online. And that's why so many people reference it, study it, and ask me to explain it. Today's show is about making sure people understand the work behind the movement and why boxing deserves the same respect other sports get in their video game. Yeah. So let me see. Undisputed needs referee in the ring hold. I read that. Yeah, so I'm about to close out the show.
All right, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you popping in.
Yeah, man. It's all good.
Yeah. All right.
So what you got planned for tomorrow?
Yeah, 6 o'clock tomorrow. 6 o'clock every day, except for the weekend. I think we're gonna stick to that 3 o'clock. So, all right, thank everybody for coming. I appreciate y'all. If you listen to this later, still hit the like, subscribe, and share the video. Until the next show, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. And Leafy, I'm having a hard time getting to the messages. I gotta reset my code. I hate when I set a code because I'm not good with numbers. Because I try to remember too many numbers. So I should have wrote it down, but I gotta find a way to reset my my Twitter chat code. But I'll check it out. All right, but until the next time, I see everybody, and I'll talk to you later, Leafy. Peace.
Later.